for? Can't remember.
Spend your karma wisely, a jack of all trades, master of none.
15 karma.
Ooh.
Decisions. I should probably grab that other etiquette
Probably a bad idea.
while I can afford it. I think you said corporate and gang were the other good ones.
Two good ones.
Was Shadowrunner good, or was it not as well rated?
Apparently it doesn't get a lot of chances to use it. It's weird, I think in all of the games you never really get much of a chance to use the Shadowrunner etiquette, despite the fact that's your whole profession.
Weird. But I suppose I'll be hanging out with other Shadowrunners, so it'd be normal for me to be. Did Street also have good ones?
Street, gang, and corporate were the three ones I saw that had.
I think I hate corporate the least because I'm going to associate that as I worked for a company once.
Yeah. I know it fits with your other ones. You've got security, academic, and corporate. And since you're a mage, you could spin that into a backstory of being like you used to do security for like a corporation before we started.
Set on fire people that try and steal things or whatever. Right, so my spirit control is piss poor. Because I've got the totem. What's that one? Just on the spellbook slot.
Yeah. Spellcasting 6 would be nice.
Because of these.
Because you've got the other stuff that means you've actually got willpower 7, spellcasting 6 at the moment. So if you got that, that would mean you'd have willpower 7, spellcasting 7.
Yeah.
Which would open another tier of spells. There'd be 3 remaining. I'll go intelligence and invest it in a 3rd level biotech. Because there are some
things that are good that get that.
Use it in conversation, and that's just more hit points recovered using a medkit.
Yeah, spent.
Excellent.
I had a million missions at once though, and I've forgotten what they were.
I think you're probably good now to leave charisma at what it is for a while.
It's just because I was so close to getting another thingy level, I was like, you know what, I might as well grab that.
When you next get a lot of karma, I'd increase body 1 more point. And then you can sort of leave that on what it is for the rest of the game.
So I think my body's goodish.
Put an extra point.
Oh, my team's got a grenade.
Grenades are very strong.
I think that's more use.
Yeah, I mean 2 AP damage is big. If enemies are grouped up, that means you could basically have an entire group
Go dizzy.
Can't fight and also easier to hit.
It's just the 1 level, isn't it? Yeah. So he's got an ability. His aim is pretty piss poor. His gun's pretty shit as well, to be honest.
So both are good upgrades.
I feel like because my mage and himself have actually got a boost accuracy thing, the gun damaging armor's probably the more optimized choice.
I'll make sure to double press an X on it, by the way. I don't know if you've actually... Oh, yeah. Oh, they've got another level upgrade.
Oh. I brought him with several missions. What's ESP control?
So that's...
Oh, the when you're in the Matrix.
Yeah.
I don't know what level it is, anyway.
I think augmenting decking is a better choice.
Yeah. Because you can still give them extra items. They've still got spare slots, I think.
Yeah. All of their items replenish after each mission, so you can use them freely.
I'm not planning to let anyone die. The standard one I think is 25%, which isn't terrible. I don't know. Neither of them excite me.
Maybe the res.
Because that's more likely to make a difference if you're in a bad enough situation you've got killed.
So it's honestly a matter of preference.
Fire is cooler.
Fire's more damage, Earth's more crowd control.
So does Earth have AoEs then?
I think
It should really give you more information on here, I think.
Buff your allies and debuff enemies. Was fire's more flat out and do damage.
The mega. So, does that mean all this time I've had him in my party and he's not been doing much? He could have totally had a fetish out with him.
I think that one will now give him a free fetish in each mission. Because otherwise you'd have to buy them and put them on him.
And they're quite expensive. Rule of cool. Fire.
Yeah. Don't think you've got the second level to put in all your characters. Already done blitzes, I think.
Have they all got a second level?
Yeah,
Oh, they
second
have.
level.
Oh, that's handy. So that makes them easier to hit as well.
Yeah.
But that's not really a huge deal.
Armors.
That's better.
Yeah.
It's not really even a...
I think you still got to choose a grenade.
I thought I did. Epidemica. Snips. Ooh.
Depends what you're using her as. I mean, when enemies.
I've only used her once, and I diplomacied my way through the stolen gun supply mission. I didn't have to fight a soul.
Oh, nice.
Got a trophy for it and everything.
Very
It was
nice.
called something like "It Doesn't Have to Be This Way." Because I spoke to the guys before I knew that was like the leader of the gang, and I even straight out said, "It's like we're looking for the gang," and he was like, "Oh yeah, they've been causing trouble or something." But basically, the area was really, really deprived and poor, and they were like struggling to even feed themselves. So it was like, "You did a naughty and you stole my stuff. Give me my stuff back, and we'll just make sure you get food."
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Okay." That is incredibly cool. Damage over time is quite nice, but that's what Gloria does anyway.
Go for sniper skills on her.
Because sometimes the enemies have got like 6 armor.
Yeah, and you think you're going to have to fight that big orc guy again.
Oh, that's for the shotgun. Shotgun's garbage, never mind. So is that all of the...
Glory's got another one to give to her. Counter.
Oh.
Glory.
Ah. Ooh. Oh. Must have at least 3 targets. Meh.
Armor-stricken razor attack. 2 hits, he strips 2 armor from the target.
I fucking love her razor blades. Cool.
Nice.
Oh, there's still...
Oh, you did press X on that selection.
Snip.
Very nice.
Cool, cool, cool. So, I think my quest just... Does anyone have anything to say? Hey, Chief. How's it going? Is this your drone? Yeah, Chief, that's mine. Didn't want to say anything at the time, since it was my idea to have you loot the vault in the first place. What's it doing there? It's my personal drone. Good to have something to hide behind when you're on a solo decking run, you know? Luster took it from me when she seized control of Schaushausen. I've been hoping to get it back ever since. Gotta say, Chief, it hurt me to see all her banged up all the hell like she was. Looked like Luster had a few of his goons take turns on my baby with a baseball bat. But looks like you got her up and running again. How'd you manage that? Someone else fixed it, but it won't listen to anyone other than you. Score, so can I have it back? What a dickhead. It won't work for me or anyone other than him, but just just gonna keep it. Sweet, so I've given him a fixed drone back. Something's gnawing at him. What's up? Well, Chief, I hate to admit it, but I might be in a little bit of trouble here. What sort of trouble? You remember those creditors I told you about? The ones who loaned me all that money? Well, as it turns out, some of them are a little less forgiving than I thought they were. One in particular seems to have taken things kind of personally. I got a package in the mail. It had somebody's thumbs in it. Yeah, thumbs. They came in a cigar box, packed in salt. I've no idea who they belong to. I'm pretty sure they're meant to convey some sort of message. There's an opportunity to say, really? You think so? I don't want to lose my thumbs, Chief. I like my thumbs. I think I need to pay this guy back. Luckily, I've got a plan. I know how to get myself out of hot water with meat grinder. I've got it all specced out. Hey Chief, he took out another fucking loan. Hey Chief, come on. I feel bad enough about this already. There's no need to rub it in. Anyway, like I was saying, I can make it all right again, but I need your help to do it. There's this group out in Dragonkippy. They call themselves the Landenberg Ring. They're a financial crime organisation, and there's a lot of bad blood between them and Meat Grinder's operation. Anyway, back when I was running the Schwarzhaven, I laid out the groundwork for a hit on the Landberg Ring, but was never able to make good on it though. For some reason, none of the other gangers ever volunteered to help out. With your help, I could steal enough money from them to cover my debt, and get myself back into Meat Grinder's good graces in the process. That's not going to have any consequences at all. What do you think? A quick run, just you and me, with me in the Matrix and you as my woman on the ground. We hit him, satisfy my debt, and laugh about it on our way back home. Sounds like a plan. Sure, but tell me in future. It's a very stupid idea. But we're stealing from bad guys, so that doesn't make it a bad thing to do. No problem, Chief. No problem at all. You can count on me. Now, if you excuse me, I've got to take last-minute stuff to take care of before we get started. Oh, and Dorsina, thanks. Not as such, Chief. I won't be physically going to Dragonkippy. I've seen enough of that place for one lifetime. I'll be jacking in from a terminal that I set up here in the cruise bar. I guess I'll send you a comm when I get there. Sounds good, Chief. Thanks again. Pet the dog. She says woof. What's new? Any thoughts about the last run? Nothing on that run that didn't disgust me. What they did to that poor troll wasn't right, boss, on any level. Don't care what anyone else tells you. You listen to me, Dorsina. What you did, killing that thing, was the right call. Yeah, it cost us some money, but letting that thing live would have been a travesty. Thing is, I didn't kill him. I set him free. And he chose to kill himself. It's just because there'll be multiple... You can also choose to just shoot him. Like, right from the start, I think. I think I've already asked that question. Well, working the stage was getting boring, boss. Spitting and screaming at the world was fine and good when I was a kid. But it just didn't do it for me anymore. The Dragon Slayer wanted me to fight a real enemy. So I left the band behind and I turned to the shadows. I don't know. Guess I figured that'd be the best way for me to find one. Yeah, I guess not. Feels kinda daunting, truth be told, but it's exciting all the same. I've been looking for a worthy adversary for some time now. Kinda satisfying having a white whale to chase. Oh, I've found some of the etiquette things make you just sound like actually.
I mean, he's meant to make you an expert at the subject.
Because someone was describing something that sounded a lot like Robin Hood, and my academic or one of the other ones option was isn't that Robin Hood? And he was like, no, they're totally different stories. I was like, no, they're not. Robin for the rich, they give the poor. Of course they do. It was a hell of a fight, wasn't it? Apparently the whale killed Abraham in the white whale thing. Revenge ain't good. I have mixed feelings about that. But revenge is fine, but I feel like a lot of modern media is like, no, hurting the bad guy's back's a bad thing to do. Is more be like, stay down, stay under the boot, guys. Stay under the boot. If you fight back, you're just as bad.
Obsession is bad, but taking down evil should always be seems a good thing.
Not too long. Ever since I took down the last one. Of course, I might be able to sit around feeling pleased with myself if I followed the creator, or the moon or the maiden. But the Dragon Slayer ain't that kind of idol. If I'm not drinking, I'm fighting. And if I'm not doing either of those, I'm getting a bigger and better fight to go into next time. It's a remarkably simple code to live by. That's a good point. When does this pattern end? Just looking for a bigger and badder thing to fight. Well, boss, the way I figure it, it'll end when I pick a fight I can't win. Might be this one, might be the next. Be hard to top a great dragon. But that's the way the Dragon Slayer wants it. Who am I to refuse him? That's enough talk for today, boss. Besides, you got other things to do, I'm sure. It's not the most healthy.
None of these people you've assigned in your team exactly have
stellar mental health. Really? What comes as a shock?
What do you think the most well-adjusted member of your team is? The shell-shocked, PTSD-ridden sniper orc that said something.
It does a little bit, yeah. Why does my dog have equipment slots, Kieran? If I can't take him into combat. My dog has equipment slots.
I just wanted to be included.
I have lots, yeah. I've cleared out a couple of spaces so I can pick things up. That's a bit of a... Any thoughts on the last run? Not gonna lie, this one's gonna stick with me for a while. What they did to that troll was sick. Probably gonna surprise you, but I'm happy that it's dead. Yeah, Herr Schmidt was pissed, and sure, our reputation got dinged. Neither of those are good things, but I'll take them over being a part of what they were doing to that troll any day. Walking out of a run with a clean conscience is a rare pleasure. Savour it while you can. It was on the start list as well, so it's either that or don't speak for it at all. Yeah, I do. You've earned that much. Haven't always agreed with your decisions, but you've proven your competence. It's only fair for me to acknowledge it. The top option a good idea?
Yeah, my further, what you know about her.
This again? Why do you even care? I was thinking the top one seems less horrible, but then I'm like,
Well, it's still speaking in military space.
Yeah.
And a big place to promise you knowing a team like appreciates competency.
Alright, I'll tell you. I suppose you deserve to know. What happened to us was Hoffman. Isn't that like an actor or something? He was a rookie.
David Hasselhoff.
Yes. Do they call him the Hoffman? Is that what his nickname is? Was he like on Top Gear or something?
He was in the SpongeBob movie, and they ride on his back at one point. And
is he like a Baywatch man?
Yeah, he was like the lead guy in Baywatch.
I've never watched Baywatch, but I just remember him being
All What I
pleasant
love
on the
Baywatch
eyeballs.
is bouncing boobies. Running at slow
As a
motion.
man that would enjoy bouncing boobies, I'm surprised you're not educated and know all of Baywatch. Or even as a young boy, you could find better material for boobies.
It was a thing because it was a bit before my time. It was a PE show. So.
Oh, if you're on the internet pirating all the episodes of Baywatch, you could be on the internet typing in boobies for free, please. I mean, acquiring them completely legitimately. What happened to us was Hoffman. He was a rookie. Kid of some big money corporate exec. He looked good on paper and he made it through the KSK training. So he was technically qualified to join a team. But he was way too green to fit in with ours. Still, he wanted to be a hero and his family had enough clout to get him an assignment of his choosing. I don't know how many strings Hoffman's daddy had to pull to get him assigned to our team, but he pulled them. Hoffman became our 9th squad mate, despite Metzger's objections. Anyway, flash forward a few weeks, we were closing in on one of the Russian mob's major trafficking operations. They've been using a series of warehouses 50 miles from the border as a staging area for their convoys. Women and girls from Eastern Europe were being housed there. When the convoys came, they'd be crammed into cargo containers and hauled across the border into Germany. Go to any brothel along the border and have a look around. Chances are you'll find at least a few girls who found time in those warehouses. Spent some time in those warehouses even. Slovakians, Hungarians, Poles, you name it. The mob had been smuggling them for over decades. But we were in a position to derail their operation. We weren't going to let our new additions slow us down. So we hit them by surprise, and we hit them hard. Fischker and Braun managed to take down the Banshee they had patrolling the site. Wolf had reconnaissance drones overhead, providing battle tech feeds to the rest of us. And we picked off their gunmen one by one. They had numbers on us, but they didn't know where to hit us. We had eyes in the sky, we had cover and concealment. Every time they thought they had a fix on us, we'd shift position and hit them again. They might as well have been fighting ghosts. Then Hoffman broke cover and gave away our position. And after that, all hell broke loose. Wolf went down first. The sound of it will haunt me till the rest of my days. An explosion, a choked stream, and his long drawn-out gurgling sound. When he died, his drones went down with him, and there were too many hostiles to track without them. I'll spare you the gory details, Dosina. Suffice to say, my team was wiped out. I watched Metzger die. I took 3 rounds myself. Had to drag myself back across Oder-Neisse line into Germany. I almost died. So that's the story. My career died with the rest of the team. Our mission was illegal after all, off the books. There was no going back for me, so I wound up here. Did I tell you everything you wanted to know, fearless leader? Are you satisfied now? So tell you, what's your takeaway on this tale of woe? I figure you've got to have one. That sounds a bit potentially soppy.
Yeah.
I think maybe the top one.
Yeah.
Because that is the logical assumption. She went, you're new, you're going to fuck us up.
Yeah.
And with the specific trauma she had, that makes sense. Calling her out on it might not make me popular, but the middle one's just like, oh, get over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that. And you're right. To a point, I might have judged you too harshly because of Hoffman. Everything else I said was justified. Giving you command of this team was a hasty decision, made for the wrong reasons. I stand by that assessment, but between then and now, I've been watching you like a hawk, and you've grown, Darcina. You almost know which buttons to press now. You weren't the right choice to lead before. I still believe that, but you are now. Until next time. Well, that went for a while. Talk to that person first. Glory. Darcina, good to see you. I'll start with that. Darcina, look at me. I'm not far from being what that poor troll was. When I think about what they did to him. She looks you in the eye. Her expression remains neutral, but the slight blush has spread from her neck to her cheeks. It wasn't right, and you did the only thing you could to make it better. You knew what it would cost you, and you did it anyway, because it was the right thing to do. I won't forget that, Dosina. Not ever. How are you doing? You know what? I'm happy, actually. For the first time in a long time. I have you to thank for that. Be patient, Dosina. The explanation for that is coming. I'm not sure you're going to like it, though. Every other time I've poked her twice, I think, and got away with it. But
Yeah.
Poke
Poke the bear.
Poke the bear. Yeah. Not gonna lie, I haven't been looking forward to this. But yeah, it's time. Dustina, look. I'm about to tell you some things about myself that might change your opinion of me. It's entirely possible you're going to hate me based on what's coming up next. I've accepted that, and if that's what happens, I sincerely believe that I deserve it. Aww. She looks you in the eye, her expression grim. So tell me, are you sure you want to keep pushing forward with this? I want to click the top option, but do you think that's the right thing to do? Because that one's nice, but it says I don't need to know anything else ever again. That's arsehole.
You need to
Poke. I want to know.
come to terms with the past. It's healthier.
And I want to know. Thanks, Dosina. Thanks for being a friend. So when we left off last time, I just moved on the streets of Tübingen into the warm, inviting confines of the Fürstel. Martha and I were happy there for a little while, and Harrow embraced me as his long-lost daughter. I should probably take a moment to talk more about Harrow. He's going to be an important figure in this story. I don't know what his age was. He seemed old enough to be paternal, but young enough to hang with the kids on something like a peer level. Best guess, I'd say he was mid-20s. He was handsome and well-built, but neatly trimmed beard and thick brown hair. Something else about him, something uncanny. Harrow had this charisma, this raw magnetic attraction that just made people latch onto him. I saw it over and over. All it took was a few words and a pat on the shoulder, and Harrow would have a new convert. The other kids at the farm followed him around like lost puppies. As much as I loved Marta, as much as I thought she loved me, we forgot all about one another when Harrow was around. All we wanted was to be close to him, be part of his inner circle, and soon enough we were. I think it's some magic hypnosis kind of nonsense going on there. Or he was just a really hot elf or something. For a girl of 17, it was terribly exciting. Harrow had these rules of living that he would teach us, rules about self-determination and the importance of disobedience. He claimed to have taught classes in the University of Berlin, which he painted as a mix between an earthly paradise and an anarchist playground. He told us how Fürstel would be a focal point of the new movement for the children of the fatherland. He told us that we were special. We ate it up, of course. We were kids. For those of us in the inner sanctum, Harrow would share even more. He had power, the likes of which I've never seen. Not my father's drunken fists or my own childish experiments, but genuine, incredible power. He said it came from the Horned God, an ancient deity that he venerated? I think that's how you say that, I don't actually know. He knew about my latent abilities right away, and he offered to teach me. Naturally, I accepted. The thing is, I don't know anything in universe. But he does smell like a cult leader. But if I had magic that I didn't know what to do with, I would have done the same thing. I would have been, ooh, teach me magic.
Yeah.
So that's my... Yeah. Well, that's comforting to hear. I'm glad to know someone as competent you would make as an abysmal of a mess of her life as I did. Hang with me, Dosina. Rough waters ahead. So I became Harrow's apprentice. He taught me to channel magic and summon spirits. He taught me rituals and pagan traditions. Maclavian philosophy and Nietzschean, I don't know how to say that. It's a word you and Lee have said before. ethics. Above all, he taught me to connect with his horned god, and through it I learned power and arrogance. And it was all downhill from there. For the next few years, I lived at Feuerstal as Harrow's enforcer and right-hand girl. I was also his sometimes wife and concubine. Yeah, sounds about right. But that was a distinction I shared with all the girls in the commune, including my beloved Marta. I came to learn she'd been his long before she even met me, but by that point I didn't care. I'd embraced the rules of living, and I was Harrow's creature through and through. I didn't ask questions, and I walked the path that was in front of me. Other fun facts about those years. I learned cruelty. I had power now, and my new idol encouraged me to use it. Harrow did the same. Any children who didn't pull their weight were subject to my tender mercies. And I was anything but tender. I took what I wanted rather than asking for it. I liked it. It was fun. I also came to learn that Harrow's horn god was not the ancient first worshipped by throwback cults across Germany. It was certainly a god with horns, but it came from an altogether different tradition. Care to hazard a guess? The devil? In the magically active community, we refer to it as the adversary. But yeah, same being, more or less. It's my idol. The ancient deity that was feeding me power was the antithesis of everything that is right and good. You know what? I didn't care. In our time together, Harrow and I committed more atrocities than I could count. At this point, I was onto all of his tricks. I knew that Fair Steel was nothing more than a honey trap, carefully designed to lure local children into my master's clutches. I knew the kids who seemed resistant to Harrow's brainwashing techniques wound up fertilizing the garden. I knew that Harrow's entire manifesto was bullshit. And I knew that through all of it, Harrow and the adversary were laughing, because I was laughing right there beside them. I don't want to pin the blame of my decisions on anyone but me. That said, I would like to posit that my father's connection to the Kreuzritters might have helped play into my willingness to serve the adversary. In my warped, indoctrinated little brain, I equated the church with evil. So the opposite of that, I figured, had to be, well, if not good, then at least not totally bad. I was kidding myself, of course. My new date was the very definition of bad. Serving it made me bad. End of story. You got brainwashed when you were a kiddo. Kieran, I want your opinion. Top one or bottom one? Definitely not the middle one. I don't care that she was beating up kids. I think that's... She was brainwashed at the end of the day. She had a bad life from, like, the age of 14. She didn't really have a chance to learn who she was, and then she got into a cult. I don't think it was her fault.
I don't think it was either.
And if she didn't do what he said, she'd be dead. At least until whenever she ran away, or whatever she did. What if he was indoctrinated in the service of the adversary when he was my age? Would he not be at fault anymore either? No, Dosina. Harrow certainly deserves some of the blame for what I became. Maybe even most of it. Personal responsibility has to come into the equation somewhere. I made my own choices, and they were horrible ones. I've accepted that. You should too. Anyway, one day Harrow invited me on a field trip to Stuttgart. Over the years I was at the Feustelli, the commune had easily doubled in size. It was thriving, all thanks to the effort of Marta and the girls like her. Harrow would send girls out to neighbouring cities to lure in the street kids that nobody would miss. He targeted children because they were easy to indoctrinate, and because nothing makes an adversary happier than the corruption of the innocent. As we drove out to pick up the new recruits, I was already planning ahead. It was a foregone conclusion that I would pay my father a visit. The irony of a group of Kreuzritters getting immolated by a genuine servant of the actual devil tickled me to no end. I mean, to be fair, if my dad had beaten me half to death and said I was the devil incarnate or the devil's whore or something, yeah, I would set that motherfucker on fire when I've got devil powers, just for shits and giggles, like, so you were right, but it doesn't make it right. So when Harrow stopped to fill up on diesel, I hopped out the van and headed out on foot to my parents' place. Harrow wasn't overly concerned about my absence. I had long since reached the point where I could assert my autonomy, and he knew I'd be back. I wound up at my folks' house sometime around noon. I could hear the adversary whispering in my ear, telling me what to do. I'd long since learned to listen to its voice. It always rewarded me with extra power when I did its bidding. It told me to knock, so I did. As the door opened, I could feel a torrent of flames welling up in the astral plane all around me. It told me to channel them into my doorway, into my father, so I did. But of course, the person who opened the door wasn't my father. It was my mother. Aww. Her mother wasn't evil. Her mother was trying to stop the dad beating the shit out of her, but obviously women generally not as strong as men. Oh, and the mother got hit a few times as well, trying to pull the dad off her. As I watched her flesh blacken and melt, as I heard her scream, and I broke into hysterics, I heard the adversary laugh. And at this moment, I realised it was laughing at me. Tragic but predictable. Saw that coming. So sorry, Gloria. Thanks. We're almost at the end now. Thanks for sticking with me. It's like a lever had been pulled. All at once, the bubble popped. I wasn't a powerful servant of the adversary. I was not Harrow's number one girl. I was a ridiculous little fool who'd willingly tied her soul to the worst thing in existence. Realising all of this is one thing, actually fixing it is something else entirely. I knew I had to get away from Harrow, so that was the first thing I did. So I bit my lip and did my best to ignore the happy bubble of the new recruits on the trip back to Farsteel, and I managed to get through the ride without screaming. Once we were back at the commune, I broke into Harrow's safe, stole all the commune's resources, and ran. I don't know when Harrow realised what I'd done, or whether he even cared. All that I know is nobody came after me, so I kept running and running until I got to Berlin. Getting past the wall was fairly simple. You know how easy it is to obtain falsified papers? The biggest obstacle I faced during my fight was the adversary itself. I could run from Harrow, but how do you run from something that's tied to your own soul? Kieran, I'm not sure which one's the most compassionate. She chopped her body off, I'm guessing. That sounds really insensitive.
Snip, snip. I say, oh god, glory.
That sounds the most human, I think. Haunted look in her eyes is heartbreaking. She gives you another curt, grim nod. Walked into the office with the first street doc I could find, pointed at all the biggest, bulkiest pieces of cyberware he had on display, and told them to put them into me. Tried to upsell me on better merch, arguing I was asking was old and inefficient, better suited to be installed in a museum rather than a body. He told me I'd be shedding my essence, and that once it's gone, I'll never be able to get it back. I stuck to my guns. After all, shedding my essence was the whole point. So I suppose the cyberware doesn't take as much essence as it used to now as well. In law, I assume. Her eyes are sunken and hollow. The aura of loss is about her is palpable. She looks like a woman who's been through hell. That's all for now, Dosina. You've heard the tale. You know why I am the way I am. You know things I've done, and how much I have to atone for. If you still want my company, fine. I've lost your friendship, I understand that too. But for now, I need to be alone. Well, it's the actual devil. I figured it would be a demon, but I didn't think it would be the demon himself. I don't like the title, The Adversary. It seems... I feel of the devil's titles, that's not his best one.
I quite like the Dawn Star.
Mm-hmm. Was that one of his titles?
It was Lucifer's, angelic name. It was,
I like Lucifer as a name. I think that's really cool.
Lucifer was the Dawn Star. He was the first light that etched out stars across the sky. It's they sort of reference it in Good Omens with showing Crowley, the one played by David Tennant, forming the stars. That was Lucifer's role in the Old Testament. Yeah, put the stars into the skies and scrape the beauty, sort of sculpted beauty of space.
I have 5 unread messages? Bloody hell. Hi, Yosina. Just wanted to let you know I've met with limited success in working on that stack of DVDs. It's a thorny problem, but at least I'm making some headway. you look on the table beside your DVD player, you'll find another recovered disc. Wasn't able to salvage all the files on it, but I think you might be able to find what I recover to be of interest. For my part, I'm going to continue working on the other DVDs. To tell you the truth, I wouldn't hold out much hope though. They're all badly damaged, and suffering from disc rot besides. I'll be in touch. My best to you and your team. Hey there, Muscle. Not sure if Tuck gave me the right address, but I figured it was worth a shot. I don't know if you heard, but our favourite poly club got hit from all sides by the F-state today. It was glorious. Anyway, just thought you'd want to share in the good news, and thanks for your help back there. I don't think we would have made it out of there without you. Take care, Dosina. Hey, Dosina. Uncle Dietrich told me that I could message you here, so I figured I should. He probably told you I'm living at Samuel's, huh? Well, that's where I am. It's different, I'll give it that much. I like that I don't get pressured to hurt people here, so that's good. And nobody smacks me around, even though I can tell a lot of the orcs and trolls want to. I do get yelled at a lot, and called a lot of names, but I guess that making me feel bad about that kind of thing is all part of the plan. Life kinda sucks right now, but at least nobody's gonna make me kill anyone. Uncle D says that it's gonna get better, and maybe it will. I don't know. Maybe what I mostly want to say was thanks for not killing me back at the Humanist compound. I had a gun on you, so you totally could have, but you didn't, and I'm really glad about that. Come see me at your earliest convenience. There's a matter we need to discuss. Excabel, Dr. Obsidian, I think that's the cyber people, I'm not sure. Hey, this is Silky from the hotel. I hope it's okay that I'm writing to you. Samuel gave me your email address. Anyway, I just wanted to thank you for everything you did for me. Kicking my cram habit was the hardest thing I've ever done. I don't think I would have tried if you hadn't talked me into it. To celebrate my newfound sobriety, I've decided to sign on as a volunteer at the charity. Who knows, maybe giving back to the community will help things turn around in my life. Anyway, thank you again, Dosina. I owe you one. To call your work unsatisfactory would be an understatement. When I said we wanted the prototype, it should have gone without saying we wanted it intact and operational. You technically fulfilled the terms of our arrangement, so you will get paid, but don't expect work from us ever again. Payment from client. I haven't finished that farmer cleanup job yet because I'm still not quite sure about it. There's more DVDs to watch. Can we bother to watch them right now? Yes. Third DVD. I was thinking about Adrian today. Not as he was when he disappeared. Not as the fabled dragon slayer. Or the big town CEO of Daldis Defense. I was thinking about when we were kids. I was always more of a kid than he was, of course. He's 15 years older than me. That's a hell of a gap. How big's the gap between you and your oldest sibling? It's like 10 years or something. 6. That's still a lot in kid terms, though. 15 years between him. That's a lot. He was more like a parent than a brother. So I was thinking about the time we were on holiday. Our parents took us to the island of Powell to enjoy the beach. Must have been about 5 years old. Adrian was 20. his last family vacation with us. A year later, he began his meteoric rise to fame and fortune. But on this trip, he was my brother. When I fell out of the little paddle boat our parents rented and started sinking fast in the Baltic, he was the one that dove in to rescue me. You saved my life that day, Adrian. I'll love you forever for that, and I will find you. I owe you that much. Found an old news article, mentions Adrian, from way back in 2036. It was printed in a financial magazine called Das Feinwesen, one of the chic print-based magazines that they produced for the retro crowd. I'm shocked newspapers are still going right now. It's such a fucking waste of resources. And, like, I understand if, like, the pensioners that don't have phones use it, but so many, like, middle-aged people that have got smartphones use them. It's just like, literally, get it digitally. The Guardian's free. It does occasionally ask you to give them money.
I think it's just a sense of familiarity.
Well, like, I'd say about half of the customers that chat at all, if they buy a paper, they say, I don't know why I'm buying this, it's all rubbish. It's all adverts. It's so much smaller and more expensive than it used to be.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, well, I don't know what to tell you, mate, but you're still buying it. Only if the regulars, though, I wouldn't say that are, like, complete strangers.
Yeah.
But, like, if it's one of me regulars that I can have a little bit of banter with, it's like, well, you see how you're buying it? That's why. They've still won. Aren't any clues in there? It's good to see someone else acknowledging his existence. SK stock suffers in a post-buyout brain drain. The aftermath of the Dragon Luftwire's hostile takeover of Sadenkrupp Sworn Industries Cellscraft is a continuing brain drain on high-level executives and is causing ongoing worry among company shareholders. The company's stock took a major hit when Luftwire disposed CEO Wilhelm Graf last August. 3 months later, long-held power positions within the ski empire continued to empty as... Is this because I've drank milk? Continued to empty as the Dragon consolidates his power base. The most recent casualties in Luftwire's takeover include Alexander Kobayashi, the former CEO of Seda Munitions, Matthaus Donner, former treasurer of Raw Datafax, and Werner Harding, former CEO of DL Defense. Harding stepped into the role to replace Dr. Adrian Volclair, who disappeared under mysterious circumstances 2 years ago. That's the rest of that was boring shit. It's just like mentioned he existed once. So there you have it. That's what they had to say about Adrian a mere 2 years after his disappearance. My brother, the footnote. That was the point he was making. He was barely mentioned. He was everyone's favourite for a minute, and then nobody cared. Track doesn't load, it's filled with meaningless text. More meaningless text. Dr. Vauclair, it's my sad duty to inform you that by unanimous vote of the Orphanschrat, your position as CEO of Deal Defense will be terminated at the end of this calendar month. Your continued misallocation of company funds to pursue personal agendas can not and will not be tolerated any longer. The supervisory board is not unsympathetic to your mental state. The trauma you endured during your pursuit of the Dragon Firewing must have been enormous. But your continued obsession with the Dragon, the dead Dragon, I may add, is proving a negative influence on this company and an unjustified drain on company resources. The board wishes you all the best in your future endeavours. We've prepared a generous severance package to assist you in the time of transition. If there's anything more we can do to help you, please don't hesitate to ask. So he got fired because he was spending money to try and find a dragon that is meant to be dead.
And judging by the constant attacks on you...
Oh yeah, the dragon's still going.
Alive.
He is very alive. Or she, even. I think it was a girl dragon. I forgot what I was actually coming him for. Dulcina, Frau Muller should be on her way. But before you go to the meeting site, I have news. It can wait. Tell me what's happened. I quite like the arrogance of that second one. I did fuck them up big time, like.
Because there's something there.
It's funny.
Say if you're in this world, then that's it.
I see. And these idiots, they all give him the same information. Did they drop anything that could be of use? Any identifying info? I found a PDA. I'd forgotten I'd found that. Yeah, I should be able to extract some info from this. Give me a moment. Plugs it in the computer and gets to work. A few moments later, he lets out a grunt of dismay. Well, Dosina, I was able to recover a file, but unfortunately that's all I'll ever be able to pull off this thing. All that anyone will, truth be told. Must have been running some kind of counter-intrusion software. The instant I gained access, it bricked itself. A com file. The audio's all here, but it looks like we've only got video from one side of the convo. Let's see what we had. Oh, hello, friend. Back me, Audrun here. What's your status? Target acquired, sir. You were right. We spotted her on the U-Bahn. Just like you said, probably on her way to a job. As per your instructions, we're going to try to take her out on the way back. She'll be more vulnerable that way. Hopefully injured and low on ammo too, but only time will tell. Good man. Proceed as instructed. Will do. Costman is rigging up an ambush spot right now. We'll try and make it quick. Send me a comm when the job is done. Order it out. Well, our scarred friend makes an appearance. Dustina, I suspect Green Wilter's predictions are coming true. I believe that Firewing is behind this. Be on your guard, you and the rest of your team. You made it through this attack relatively unscathed, but next time you might not get so lucky. I guess we've got his name. That's not all we have. As I was saying when you first walked in, I've been as productive as well. I was able to uncover some new evidence in your absence. And coincidentally enough, that evidence pertains to our scarred friend. As you might recall, I said I'd dig into his skin grafts. Well, I did, and that search has borne fruit. One of my contacts outside Berlin handles the paperwork for private hospitals all across Germany. It's a dull, boring job, but it does have its perks. Well, I don't have enough biotech to read the charts myself. As it turns out, our scarred friend's skin grafts were performed in a legit hospital, after all. Well, they're rather light on identifying info. Our friend's name is listed as Max Musterman, the local equivalent of John Doe, but they do cover his injuries in great detail. Audrian's injuries were extensive. He had 2 broken ribs and a shattered pelvis, and he had sustained third-degree burns over 60% of his body. Most damningly of all, he suffered from acute radiation poisoning. His body had absorbed over 5,000 millisieverts of ionizing radiation, a lethal dose without treatment. Info dries up at this point. We know that he was treated and discharged, but what happens afterwards remains a mystery. Your thoughts? Hold nothing back. I'd like to hear everything that comes to mind. Yeah, the socks is full of radiation, but the hospital couldn't ID him. Or somebody covered his tracks. I'm going to say he's been at the socks. Agreed. 5,000 is a lot of exposure. Short of basking in the glow of an unshielded reactor, I don't know how he'd have absorbed that much without spending time in the socks. Alright, so Audrian was heavily irradiated, most likely from time spent in the socks. Oh, these are all. You gotta say all of them. To be fair, if you had 60% burns, including your face, it probably would be hard to ID you.
Yeah, you'd be crispy.
He'd be crispy. I mean, I guess he could tell them his name, if he could still, like, move his mouth. Indeed, if Audrian were a denizen of the socks, a glowpunk, his lack of identifying info would make sense. It is a working theory at any rate. So one way or another, Audrian's off the books, either due to living off the grid or a cover-up of after the fact. Sounds like you got burnt by dragons, but why would he work for if he got cooked? I don't think people consent to working for the dragons in this universe, really. The dragons just go, oi!
Yeah.
If you don't want to get eaten.
Yeah.
Or toasted. I don't think Audrian's working for Firewing. I believe he is serving her. On Green Winter's second DVD, he mentions there's a cult within the Socks that worships the Firewing. Disciples of the Cleansing Fire. I believe Audrian belongs to this cult. Now more dangerous than a zealot. My thoughts exactly. A hireling can sometimes be bribed or reasoned with. Pawn can be liberated, but if Firewing soldiers look upon her as a goddess figure, nothing short of killing her will deter them, and even that might not stop them. Sum it up, Audrian's probably spent time in the Socks. It's possible he even lived there as a member of the Firewing Dragon Cult, and he's after you. In my mind, all this reinforces one fact. We need to find Vauclair, and we need to do it fast. So you can murder the dragon. Good, and all the more reason to gather Alice's fee as quickly as possible. And as luck would have it, Frau Miller has arrived. Best of luck at the meeting, Darcina. Remember, this is urgent. We need that money. I'm on it. Okay. I think I agreed to meet in the cafe. Do missions expire in this game? Because I've got 2 optional quests and I've had the pharmacy one for quite a while.
I think only after major points of no return.
Get a warning. Okay.
Or it was obviously time sensitive, like, bomb's gonna go off.
Because one of them is the one that I wasn't quite sure whether I wanted to do or not. About, oh, what am I trying to say? Oh, I finished the restoring the place. I gave him all the money.
Around the place, which then opens up additional places.
Oh, something's up with Lane. Coming closer, you can see dried blood on his face and clothes, as well as a few discoloured blotches that pass for bruises on a troll's skin. More noticeably, there's considerable damage to the man's left prosthetic leg, which he now tends to with tools, as antiquated as the leg itself. You alright, dude? I'm fine. Nothing a few swings of the wrench can't fix, or a few swings of the crutch. Someone come at me, think me weak, and I show them otherwise. Oh, his crutch is caked in more blood and what appears to be pieces of hair. He fucked up whoever tried to take him down. Tell me who did it. We're gonna fuck him up harder. Just a punk with some bad ideas. Forget about it. You sure you're okay? Suffered far worse, as you might imagine. I don't need you or anyone else babying me. Aww. Well. That gave you the lore of, he's not as weak as he seems, despite his tatty old bits. Tatty legs. He beat someone to death with his, well, beat them enough that the hair came off with his club. Not club, crutch. The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. Ah, I haven't cured this one. She's still mental. That's some nice singing, Kim. Do you like the song? It means tomorrow will be a better day. Monica used to say something like that. When I was tired, when I was sad, when I only wanted to sleep, she would tell me that. She told me I would forget, that the pain would go away. I lived many lives, but I've been an orphan more times than anything. It was the first story I found when I needed to get away. I want to get this person out of their VR addiction, but I don't know if we're close enough where she'll accept it. Let's try. Anyone try and ever get you off them? But I need them. Monica understood that, and Zach says they're safe. I don't know what I'd do without them. Without them, I dream. I don't want to dream. I don't want to remember. They help me forget. They help me be strong and smart, and I never lose anyone. That makes a good thing, right? Can't run from your promise forever, but be strong and smart in the real world. Maybe one day you won't need them. Maybe someday you won't need them? Seems the most compassionate. Oh, that didn't give me a send it to the recovery clinic. Do you like it here? It's good. I can tell I can get what I need from Zach Flash or Doc Isabel. They let me pay however I can. Monica was always nice, and Paul Amsel. And the Angel is nice to me too, usually. The Angel? I know Monica's gone now, but I can still stay, right? Of course you can stay, Kim. Thank you. Oh, thank you. I don't know what else I would do. When I picked this formula up for the relaxy calm your tits drug, it said this could be dangerous in the wrong hands. But I feel the greater good is letting everyone have access to it, because it could be used to help for surgery or something actually useful. I think the benefits outweigh the risk. And I got too calm for it. The machine accepts the data. After a few moments, just basically saying it gives money. Didn't actually see how much money that gave me. Oh, I'm disorientated. Where's my character gone? Data. I was hoping you'd want to chat. Fancy seeing you again. Oh? Call me intrigued. What do you want to talk about? What about the lodge? Tours group, you mean? Sure, I've done a few jobs for them. They pay well. The whole ominous secret organisation thing they try to keep going is a little weird. But whatever, money is money, and they've got it. Best I can tell, he's just a middle-run toady, like any other corporate suit that you deal with before a run. Only difference is he isn't a corp. I think he's a little fresh-faced for what the lodge has him doing. In the beginning, there were some credibility issues. I had a hard time taking the guy seriously. Then he started waving wads of money around, and that cleared up in a flash. Afraid I can't help you dig any deeper. He's an occasional client. Even if I knew more about him, I wouldn't tell you. Shadowrunners who kiss and tell have a funny way of dying young. Yeah, but the cruise bar ain't the best place to do it. There aren't a ton of jobs out here if you don't have a network. You have a network? Me. Not quite. You're a client, not a friend. No offence, mind you. Like my crew is back in MIT, and we're doing just fine on the job front. I mostly visit your lovely little piers between runs to restock and relax. It's a good place for that. Nice and slow placed. It's quaint. Oh, I can ask her if she wants to join my team permanently. We've not really talked enough. But fuck it, there's no harm in pressing that button. She's just gonna tell me to fuck off. Do you want to join my team? Don't suppose I would. Like I said, I've got my own team. Good people who earned my loyalty 100 times over.
I think she's a party member from Returns, because I recognise her.
Maybe. She looks cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's one of your permanent party members in Returns. and she's just one of the few characters that's like calling back to that game.
Because there was another NPC that was on the buyable list that I've met in a pub somewhere. I can't remember if he had anything of interest to say. She had more dialogue.
All of these games take place
in the same universe.
All
right, that's quite fast as far as sequels and stuff go.
But it's 2 years after the good endings, which are the canon ones. Each one has a bad ending, which is most definitely not canon, because some of the things that happen.
Which you're not going to tell me about because I haven't played them yet.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure she's a permanent party member in the first game.
Alright. Because is there just 3 Shadowruns, or is there a bunch more but they're not as good?
Unfortunately, there's only 3.
3 is still a not a bad amount. Is this the newest of the 3?
Newest of the 3 is Hong Kong.
Okay.
This
is the middle one.
Hong Kong feels the newest as well when you play it. It's got a lot of quality of life improvements, and the combat is greatly improved. But this one has the best story. Hong Kong's story is still great as well. It's a really good story.
Just this one's better.
I just like this one the best. Personally.
And also Dragon's cool.
Yeah. This one's also the highest rated. Returns is an 81 on Metacritic. This has an 87, and Hong Kong is an 83.
They're all pretty fucking good scores, like.
Yeah, very high scores. These are incredible hidden gem games. Like next to no one's played them, so crying shame.
Thing is, a lot of people play like XCOM and crap like that.
There's people in the know about like CRPGs have played these, but like it never really got like widespread appeal.
Well, all of my 2 viewers, most of which are bots, will know about it now. Don't suppose I would. Like I said, I got a team of my own. Good people who've earned my loyalty 100 times over. I can do a little moonlighting here and there, but they wouldn't take kindly if I up and bailed on them. Better at stay like this. If you need me for a run, I'm available. You just need to pay me first. Keep things clean and simple. Nope, they're called Wine Killer for a reason. Guy behind the bar is more like a bush league sommelier than he is a proper bartender. Knows a bit about wine. When it comes to mixing drinks, he's useless. If you want a drink, I'd recommend sticking to something simple. Try ordering something with more than 2 ingredients and you're asking for trouble. So you like wine? No, never developed a taste for it. Not a big fan of sweet things, never have been. Even when I was a kid, I always preferred smoke. Yeah, why are you in a wine bar if you don't like wine? Because it's usually empty in here, and I don't like to be bothered. And as hopeless as the bartender is, it's tough to mess up scotch if you order it neat. Now, do you have another question, or...? Yeah, see ya. Okay, so that was just flavour text. Probably a bunch of references to the game that I haven't played. Welcome back. What can I do you for, my friend? Misunderstanding? I'm sure that I don't know what you're talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You're not hearing me. I don't know what you're talking about. I know nobody in the sewers, and you know nothing about my extracurricular activities. As long as you're on board with that, our business deal can continue unabated. Deal? Good. Now let's move on to other matters. Do you have business? Some work you need done? What do you need to talk about? Business. I have a job for you. I'm a little surprised you want to hire me. We haven't always seen eye to eye. That's true, we haven't, but I'm confident you're the right woman for the job. Why? Oh, not your reputation. I'll tell you that much. Some of your past clients have been pretty vocal about the dissatisfaction with you. You should hear what Herr Schmidt has been spreading about. No, Dosina, you're my first choice for this job because I know something about you. What's that? I know you're in a bad spot, and I know you're going to need all the help if you want to claw your way back out of it. As it happens, I can supply some of that help in the form of cutting-edge biotech. Very helpful for a runner in a bind, but before I can do that, you'll need to do this job for me.
Biotech is interesting, because when remember I was telling you about like augmentations.
Some of them are
That's
actually worth
almost
having.
never worth it for a mage.
Yeah.
Biotech is the exception.
Ah.
Some biotech costs 0 essence to install it.
Oh, wait.
So you can keep your essence at max. And
Just costs cash.
Others only cost like 0.2,
0.5, and it
0.3.
rounds down.
It does round down, which means you would be extending stuff by 1 turn of cooldown. But some of the biotech enhancements
Are so
are
good.
awesome. Stuff to improve your chance to hit per spells, or other ones that give you special abilities like Gloria's Adrenal, like Pump.
That one's... I'd take that one in a heartbeat if it didn't make everything cool down super slow.
Yeah, it's still a case of if you want to sacrifice having an extra turn of cooldown on your spells.
I've got quite a lot of abilities now, so that's not as much of a problem. Oh, annoyingly, you know my Magic Missile?
Yeah.
I bought Magic Missile 3. I used it like twice. It does 13 base damage instead of like 6. But it puts another thing on my cross. So the magic one has now got 2 sections. But I have to select the correct one.
Yeah.
So that just seems really inefficient. It's obviously just the way they programmed it.
Yeah, like I said, there's a lot more quality of life things, especially relating to the combat in Hong Kong.
But with the combat being paused combat.
Yeah, it's not too big of an issue, it's just more annoying. But so yeah, doing this guy's quest, very worth it.
Oh, I was going to do it anyway because more stuff.
But yeah, once you have done this quest, check out the biotech it'll sell.
So I'm assuming he currently sells okay stuff.
Yeah.
I had a glance, I didn't have the money for it when I last
if you were
looked.
playing a street samurai,
It would be worth.
or really any non-magical class, getting augmentations is very worth it. Only really worth it for a very slight dip, and if you're using biotech for mages. And there's more options of stuff in Hong Kong. I know in Hong Kong you can get magic tattoos, which cost no essence, and depending on the type of mage you're playing, they can give you tons of bonuses like increased damage from certain elements.
Makes sense. Good, so let's get down to brass tacks then, shall we? Back before I emigrated here from my native Spain, I worked in partnership with Berlin-based R&D lab. The biotech that they were developing was very hush-hush, very cutting-edge. Our arrangement was that I would bankroll their research and they would in turn provide me with unique merch to sell at my clinics. You had more than one? Certainly, I must confess that before moving to Berlin, I was something of a celebrity doctor at a chain of triage clinics that I stretched from Bilbao to Madrid. I was a very wealthy man. But then my name was slandered, and the fickle mistress that is public perception turned against me. Ugly business, I assure you. Even talking about my fall from grace makes my stomach turn. The injustice of it all is all too much to bear. What did they accuse you of, and did you do it for real? What didn't they? Theft, medical malpractice, the sale of stolen goods, other more colourful accusations that do not bear repeating. But that was then and this is now. I came here to Berlin to escape all of that. Of course, I also moved here to be closer to the lab that I'd funded and the merch that I'm owed. So let me guess, you want me to go fetch your merch? Yes, and find out what happened to the lab itself. Oh, so he never got the stuff he was promised. The facility's locked down, you see, near impenetrable, and I've no idea why. As I was packing to move to Berlin, all was well. 16 hours later, I arrived to discover the building locked tight and my merchandise still inside. The Turk Altu has been running surveillance on the site since I set up shop here. In that time, no one's entered and no one has left. Whatever went wrong in there, it must have killed the research team. I want you to find a way in the building, recover the cyber tech they were developing, and find out what happened to the researchers. In that order. Yeah, why didn't you ask Monica? Who says I didn't? I had a, let us say, tumultuous.
Tumultuous.
Yes, that one. Rocky, I think that means the same as, like, waves or something. Wibbly wobbly. Friendship with your dear departed Monica. We had our ups and downs, you see, and on this subject she was most certainly down. That was her choice. I'm hoping you'll be savvy enough not to make the same mistake. If it's been sat there empty for 2 years, somebody would have been there. Don't be. Even when I was a wealthy man, before my legal troubles, I paid the lease for a decade in advance. And before you say anything, yes, it was a huge expense. But what's locked inside that lab is worth 10 times what I spent on it. I don't want anyone laying claim to it by me. But me. Even if he owns it, someone would have tried to break into it by now. So that means there's something big and scary inside. Alright, let's talk compensation. What's in it for me? I can't afford to pay you in cash. And that's your own fault, by the way. You shut off a good chunk of my revenue when you pulled that stunt down in the sewers. They never had money, mate. They just kept the sewers running. Fuck you. What I can do is give you a first crack at any biotech you recover from the site and make it available to you at a discount. I should get it all for free. Or just the labour costs for installing it. Because I've got it for him. This is top of the line ware we're talking about, mind you. Better than anything else that you got in stock. And because it's biotech, the essence loss from implanting will be minimal. It's win-win, even for a shaman like you. Ooh, acknowledges my class. So what's going on? What's it going to be? You take the job or not? Alright, Doc, I'm in. Excellent. The facility you're looking for is the former lab of Sutherland Bioscience. Take the train to the Adenoplatz and you're sure to find it. Best of luck. Do you have any info? No. Same questions he's always had. Don't need any drugs. Oh yeah, I don't think I've... Oh no, I did look at the gun shop after I did the mission. But I had like no money. And I think the only one I actually had the intelligence for. Tell me about... I don't discuss family matters with customers, let alone strangers. Nothing personal. The Metback's family loves its customers, but if you don't buy anything, you're not a damn customer, are you? Don't need to answer that. What you do need to do is make a choice. Do you want to apologise and buy something? Or do you want to haul your ass down the street around the corner and out of my sight? From where I stand, there's only one right choice to make, but hey, it's a free city, you can do what you like. Apology could use work. The money, though, that I'll take. Let's move past this foolishness and get down to inventory. Because I think I went down the list to see what I would be able to get. And I don't want a pistol, I've only spec'd into rifles anyway. I'd be spreading myself too thin to spread from a different type of gun. Didn't have enough money last I checked. Oh, I've got good money now though. I really think, I'm hoping in the new one it'll be the case, you should be able to press a compare button when you're at the shop. It's desperately lacking a compare button. I know from it that mine's like 11 damage, I think.
That's a shotgun anyway.
Oh, I hadn't finished scrolling.
Don't have high enough range combat really to use any of these guns.
I think there was one that was better, but it wasn't much better.
To be honest,
It's not worth it right now.
Into your gun is only really to help
Have something for the cooldown. Ah, right.
So you've got something of a cooldown. I would also recommend putting your money right now into
More magic.
more magic. And then if you have money left over, then trade out your assault rifle for a sniper rifle.
Ah, I don't know if I actually had that option. Oh, that's my dog, yes. Pet my dog. Ah! What can you tell me about the adversary? Shamanic... Shamanic idol, you mean? An unusual request? Why do you wish to know? One of my friends has dealings with it. I'm not going to tell everyone her trauma. There's an option to just tell him everything. I'm not going to tell him everything. I don't know this guy. Interesting. First, tell me what you already know. I'll fill in the gaps.
I mean, if it helps, this guy is quite possibly
God.
I don't know, deity be the right term, but he's something more than just an elf with glowy eyes. 'Cause he shows up in all the games, and in some of the other games he does some shit that...
He's heavily implied he's lived a lot of lifetimes.
Yeah, he's not of this world, so he probably doesn't much care for moral concerns beyond whatever his deal is for being here in the first place, rather than gallivanting around whatever magical realm he could be in.
I still don't want to snitch on my friend when she's just bared her heart and soul.
Oh yeah, but I'm just saying, it's not the kind of guy who's going to go down to the pub and be
But
like,
hey, guess what?
Lads? He's probably just going to sit in his cool library and to be like, this sounds like the demon's gun for one for another.
I just see the devil. I see. Very well, young elf. I'll tell you what I know. Adversary is a totemic embodiment of rebellion. As an anarchist and a usurper, a betrayer and a symbol of defiance. It's a proud idol, utterly sure of itself and its mission. The majority of its followers are arrogant and cruel. Not the most pleasant of people, truth be told. He says the adversary can be interpreted in different ways, just as any idol total can. Some of its followers are worse than others. Some of its followers are worse than others. Yeah, I'm sure they're a charming bunch. You joke, but shamans of the adversary can actually be quite charming. They're confident to a fault, charismatic, and they flaunt their willingness to break cultural taboos. It isn't unusual for them to attract large crowds of followers. So I've heard, and they use their influence to ruin the poor sheep that flock to them.
Psychopaths, basically.
Cult leaders. Some of them do, yeah, but not all. As I said, there's different ways of interpreting the adversary's mission, and not all of them are malevolent. After all, rebellion can be a positive force if it's harnessed by the oppressed. That said, trusting the adversary would be a mistake. It's a treacherous idol, and all of its alliances are temporary. This is not a world of absolutes, young elf. I would never call the adversary evil any sooner than I would a more conventional totem like shark or bear. All can be destructive and cruel, yes, but none are intrinsically so. This was less complicated before I talked to you. So it isn't evil. The Christian tradition that much of Germany adheres to would argue the adversary is Lucifer. Yes, but many other traditions would disagree. You do well to remember that you live in an oddity among the 6 world nations. Traditional religious iconography still permeates German culture. Is it any surprise that people here might lean towards viewing an idol like the adversary through a more traditional lens? Personally, I feel like calling the adversary a devil is an oversimplification of the truth. It's both more and less than the Christian doctrine would have you believe, but this is a question for the philosophers. And now, young elf, I have a question for you. Not a question, a request. I would like you to tell me of your friend's dealings with the adversary, and I would like you to be thorough. I was told in confidence. Because I don't know that he's not no snitch. In fact, I appreciate, but I want to know what he's been up to, and after all the help I've offered you, I think you owe me that info. He's not really... Oh, he sold me some spells, I guess. You don't need to put a name to your friend. Give him or her an alias if you wish. But tell me the story so that I might better guide you on the road ahead. Yeah. Alright then, strap in.
He's probably the best chance you've got for
information.
If you're fighting Lucifer.
Fighting the devil, you want as much knowledge as you can. After hearing your story, the talesmonger leans back in silent contemplation. I like that it specifically said you can give them an alias, so you can be like, oh right, I can't tell the story, it's not who it was. Well, considering your friend's upbringings, it's no surprise she views the adversary as a devil figure. She's interpreting her experiences through the lens she was given. I find this Harrow figure, the leader of your friend's old commune, to be deeply troubling. He's clearly a toxic shaman, working in the service of his own warped view of the adversary. He's a stinky bad man. To an extent, yes. The adversary wouldn't abide one of his followers attempting to bolster the strength of an authority figure, for example. But items and totals can exhibit a broad range of behaviours. Men such as Harrow hide in the extreme ends of that range. Technically, his interpretation of the adversary is the adversary, but only the worst aspects of it. In the magic community, a shaman is referred to as toxic when he twists his idol's principles in order to cause harm, so that's pretty much every religious person ever. So, oh, God says being gay is bad, God says abortion's bad. It's like, you didn't, mate. And he also says wearing mixed fabrics enough to be put to death or whatever, but... You know. Some toxic shamans are eco-terrorists, protecting nature with deadly force. Others are essentially rabbids, slavering things that hunt and kill with wild abandon. I don't believe Harrow fits either of these categories. From what you've described, he genuinely venerates the adversary, or at least his own view of what it should be. He's been rewarded for power with that devotion. He'll make a formidable enemy should you choose to face him. He is bad news. Bad news, that's one way of putting it. Such men have been responsible for many terrible things in the awakened world, and they are not to be confronted lightly. I'll be careful. I trust you will. Best of luck to you and your friend both. He didn't really give me any actual information other than it's not just the devil. Oh well. Right, I have forgotten what I've already bought. I've bought Powerbolt 3. Acid Bolt sounds pretty sweet, but that's a different tree. And I think we've got the best robes possible. I never did get any lightning bolts, actually.
Get bolt lightning, just AoE.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
12 damage, minus 1 hit, first hit. Ongoing, minus HP and AP.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I'll put that in the basket.
Fireball, which is no AP, but 3 damage. Same cooldown. It's AoE. Ongoing 10 damage per turn.
That's pretty. I think one of them that I haven't bought yet ignores armor, or maybe that was one of the ones the monster had. I'm gonna check because I've only got so much money. I could get Acid Stream too. That does a big amount of damage and strips armor from them.
It actually does as much damage damage as your
Yeah, the damage isn't.
HP per turn, so overall
Does more.
it does more, but you'd have to wait 2 turns to really get the most bang out of it. Stripping
Most of
one
the time I try to kill the enemies before.
but it has a cooldown of 2, so realistically you're only going to be strapping 1 armor every like
Opposite
2
turn.
turns.
Yeah, I don't think lightning bolt is as good as ball lightning
Yeah.
because you only have so many spell slots as well.
It's got less cooldown on it's 1 AP. Ball lightning is 2 AP. That's only going to hit 1 target.
I don't think that's as worth. Pierce's armor does. That was the one I was looking at. Ignores armor.
So I'm going to take me down to 1 round. So the
Initial hit.
initial hit pierces up to 2 armor, then the ongoing damage
Will always
goes
do
1
10.
round, will always do 10.
Which isn't mountains, but it's quite a lot to have as like a
It would
passive.
be enough to, if you've got really tanky enemies, to bear down.
Yeah. It's like stun balls. I don't ever have 3 AP. Dustina's only ever got 2 because I haven't got haste.
You get extra AP as part of the story thing,
Okay.
but
Not relevant right now. Waste of my money right now.
coming up to the halfway point, I think you get your first AP boost.
I've got flamethrower 3.
Yeah.
That's honestly not great. If it was on like a melee enemy, but nearly every enemy in this game has gun.
Yeah.
You
and
can-
even the melee enemies
Can throw a grenade.
At least you can either throw grenades or have a gun that can swap
Yeah,
to.
so it's not really even helpful.
Very situational.
The only difference between Heal Wound 1 and 2 is it's 1 cooldown less.
Yeah.
Not really worth it. That doesn't ignore armor though, so that's not as interesting. That's pretty nice. It's quite a big boost. And 6 rounds is a long-ish time.
Doesn't affect AoE abilities though.
No, but if I gave it to like my sniper or something,
Yeah.
it's quite cheap as well.
Armor 3. Again, it's plus 6 armor. So
Oh yeah.
that make her incredibly tanky.
Yeah, I'm burning through my cash, but I guess we'll find out which spells I'm moving. Because I don't think I'll be able to fit all of these at once.
No.
But I think I'll just get rid of my level 1 spells of other things. Strip armor's nice, but I kind of feel like it's not as useful as...
Got other stuff that'll do that.
Yeah.
Like,
Whereas that doesn't do any damage.
Rory's got abilities to strip armor.
Yeah.
So does Igor.
That's just a worse version of that. That's a worse version of that. How much AP did that armor cost? Oh, only 1 AP. See, enemies reducing their hit chance, theoretically good. Realistically, I don't want to waste one of my turns reducing their chance to hit, because they seem to always hit anyway. That's just stun.
It's powerful, but 2 AP and a cooldown of 3.
And one of my limited spell slots as well.
Yeah.
I feel that's probably situational. I wouldn't want to bother having that on my bar. Yeah, only for 1 round though. I think... I can't do that.
Drink stuff.
Why does it have to be level 6 conjuring? I love haste.
Haste is pretty amazing.
Haste on glory with adrenaline, but oh,
I think my strongest character was the one from Hong Kong, which I played in the depths. Because
did you haste the fuck out of things?
I built up key casting, I also built up, I ignored Spirit Conjuring and just went for the Spirit Summoning, and I just went for Conjuring.
I put levels into that, but I don't know that I really should have, to be honest. It meant that when I was on that level where there was two summoning things, Darcina could turn on one and Deirdre could turn on the other. I think I'm going to buy all of them.
I mean, if you replace Deirdre with Igor, which it depends on what you want. Do you want a character that does a ton of damage, you bring Igor? Do you want a good support to buff your other characters, you bring Deirdre?
That's what I've been doing so far, and now that he's got a free fetish, I need to just actually use that. Because does the spirit disappear at the end of that combat?
I
think they do.
Yeah.
But would it regenerate by the next combat?
No.
Or just at the end of the mission?
At the end of the mission, all of their items that have a little lock icon
Get replenished.
Get replenished.
I was just asking what I want to equip. Did I not get around to selling that crappy? Why is that not moving? I know, I'm trying to figure out what... It's because it's put that in a gear slot. Damage 10, common assault rifle. What's the other one? What is that? I must have just picked this up. Oh, it's a shotgun.
Yeah, that's the smart thing.
Oh. Right, so I need more weapons. I need to move 3 things.
Use Powerbomb 1.
Fireball 1.
Yeah.
It's an easy swap, innit?
Easy swap, and by the time you've got so many magical options, by the time one thing comes up and cool down,
There'll be plenty more ready. I've still got a... Oh.
the loose heel. It is nice.
I couldn't figure... It seemed like, but I haven't been able to confirm. If I use Mana Bolt before I use Flamethrower, it feels like Flamethrower crits more. But if it's piercing rather than destroying, I think that's pure chance and happenstance.
How much does your level 3 like power bolt do? Like reusable attack or gear?
I think it's like 13.
13. How much does mine do?
14. So it's got armor penetration, but it's basically the same as math.
Yeah, I think you can afford to lose that and just instead use your level 3. You're losing a slight amount of damage, but I feel like for being able to have both cure and aim is worth it. Because what's the cooldown on the 2 offensive spells that aren't flamethrower? So that's 2. That's 4. So you kind of want to open with ball lightning. And
So then it's ticking in the background.
that uses 2 AP, so that's all of the moves return.
It is a shame I think one of my next levels will give me another spellbook slot.
Yeah.
I think. That's all I bought, isn't it? Spells.
That's a good. So you've got 3 damaging spells, 3 utility spells, and yeah, put that armor on glory. Which is when you can be even
Like my
more
first turn is gonna be set up glory to fucking destroy everything.
Yeah. Armor and aim on her. Then should just be even more.
Just go, hello, slicey dicey.
Armor. So big. Enemies can use stuff that can pierce and shred armor as well.
But it usually doesn't really happen. The enemies tend to run around like idiots or run and stab.
Reserved for either the melee
Commanderies.
people or the sniper rifle people. Like people with melee weapons and sniper rifles tend to be the ones that can even pierce and shred armor. Shotgunners can as well, but it's rarer.
Well, they can't do anything if they did. And if she's got haste on her... Yeah.
Base adrenal gland, aim and armour. Just killing machine.
Hey pal, I missed you. Got any news stories for me? Tell me about L2. Not a lot I can tell you haven't already guessed. Resident Spy Master, coffee brewer outside at the official Turkish Cruise Bar. What the fuck does some shtick mean?
Shtick is like someone's like purpose.
Ah. It works for him. He had to make some sort of living here in the cruise bar, you know? He's not got a trade skill. He's not goblinized, so he couldn't hang out with Beckenbauer. If he opens up a normal shop, he'd be ousted by someone thinking he's stealing their job because he's not German. Coffee shop's a good option, because it's obvious. He stays exotic, but does what they expect of him, with intel and stuff. Sorry about the intel dump. It's not really useful information. We probably guessed anyway at this point, but you asked, so... You've been a real doll. Gotten way too much info out of me, though. So I'll see you around, yeah? I think she had another dialogue tree. Oh no. A little busy right now, friend. Places, busy things to do and all that. Can buy you later, I might have time to chat. I think my next main mission was in here. Do you recognise him as well? He looks a bit like a Milady Neckbeard to me, though. Do you reckon he's from another game? He didn't have much to say.
Don't think so. He looks almost like one of the devs just put himself in the game.
Sorry, devs. I like your game, but he has neckbeard energy. You've not auditioned to attend, Dulcina. You'll want to get to it. Oh, he was telling me go to a mission all by myself with none of my crew to prove I'm worthy of something. He was real shady about it. I was like, this sounds like a trap, but at the same time, maybe it's not. Apple pie chai. Ah, I found some cheap booze. Found this liquor, is it worth anything? No, not quite. I received cases of this for less discerning clientele. Maybe 10? Should I hold on to the cheap booze because 10 currency is nothing?
Might as well, yeah.
I'm sure there'll be some, like, drunk person or something that wants it. Formula. Press your way forward through the cosy, smoke-filled confines of Cafe. I'm not going to try and read that. You catch sight of Formula. Oh, she doesn't look quite as much like a husband buried under the patio from her portrait as she does from a statue. Stature? Blech. She appears as Amsel described her, an impressive-looking woman of Atlania descent, with coffee-coloured skin and dark wavy... That is not coffee-coloured skin, Kieran. Look at that coffee-coloured skin. They've whitewashed her. And dark wavy hair. Maybe a cappuccino at a push. The froth on the latte. Everything about her screams corporate executive, from her expensive-looking suit to her tastefully understated makeup. She's obviously nervous, but she's hiding it well. She locks eyes with you and hesitates only slightly before speaking. Dulcina, I presume? Her Ansel told me I could meet you here. He wasn't lying. He said you had a job for me. Yes I do. In truth, I'm in desperate need of your help. What do you need? An assumed name, obviously. I've been told that this is how you people do business. Aha! I was thinking she's mentioned corporate and I've just got corporate. From my accent, you've no doubt inferred I'm an Atlania. Further, you may have guessed who I work for. As technology? Been with the company for over a decade. In that time I've worked on all manner of projects. From the innocuous to the obscene, my hands have touched it all. Never once did I question the wisdom of our research. Never once did I consider blowing the whistle on my employers. Kept my nose down, worked hard, and excelled at the tasks set before me. They must love you. No more than any other employee, but my commitment and work ethic were recognised. I ascended the corporate ladder fairly quickly, which brings me to where I am today. Last month, I was transferred here from my home in Tenochtitlan. They told me that an employee of my caliber was needed in Berlin, and I would be working on a project with wide-reaching applications. The only other detail I was given was that the name of the project was Bloodline. That doesn't sound good. Oh, she's scared. I've seen many terrible things in my life, Dulcina. And Tenochtitlan blood magic is commonplace. Oh, blood magic. Take a moment to imagine what that means. In the underground markets, people are bought and sold as chattel. Street children are rounded up and bled like lambs. I witnessed all these things by the age of 12. Nobody gets out of this hellscape, I'm traumatized. Seeing such things, it changes you, makes you numb. But when I found when I arrived here was worse. This project, it horrifies me, Dulcina, and it must be stopped. The less you know, the better, for both of us. You'll just have to trust me on that. You only need to know that it's evil, and that it's not a word I use lightly. I can't accept it without knowing about it. Of course not. Your job will be relatively simple. I want you to bring the building down. The computers, the research data, the mages and the scientists that are working to bring about this abomination. I want them all burned to ash and buried in rubble. No compromises and no exceptions. Sure, you have unanswered questions, and I'm not in the habit of dealing with Shadowrunners. In truth, I've spent the majority of my career living in fear of you people. But I do know that you're the only ones that can get this done. So tell me, is there anything else you need to hear from me, or are you ready to make a decision? What about the innocent people? None of us are innocent, Dulcina. But if you need a salve of your conscience, rest assured that the hour of your approach, the only personnel authorised to be on site will be security and senior members of the research team. And I assure you, neither are innocent in this matter. If the Bloodline project reaches completion, nobody will be safe ever again. It sounds like hyperbole, I know, but it isn't. The Bloodline project will lead to countless deaths. I'm certain enough of this to hire you, despite the fact that doing so will probably cost my own life. Why didn't you tell me about my buddy? I had to meet you in person, to look into your eyes and see the woman behind the name. And now I've done so, I'm sure you are the one I need. Naturally, I'll send further details to her Amsel, provided of course that you accept. How am I going to level a building? You don't need to. All you'll need is a competent decker. The facility is powered by a number of on-site generators. I wonder what happens if they overload those. There are safeguards in place to prevent them from overloading in the event of a power spike. The system is designed to shut itself down, but I know how you can disable those safeguards. Once the generators begin to overload, you'll have a limited time to reach a safe distance. The explosion will be quite catastrophic. Security will be tight. In addition to their standard security team, As Technology has taken out a knight-errant high-threat response team contract prior to the building. Protect the building. Corporate doesn't seem to mind contracting a competitor for emergency response services. Phone, you coming alive? I was wondering how stupid later it got. That should give you some indication to the uniqueness of this project. At any rate, I believe I've come up with a solution to the knight-errant problem. I'll discuss the matter with her Amsel if you decide to take the job. How much cash you giving me? 36,000, as I told her Amsel. That's what I've allocated for the job. It's a lot of money. It's better than fair. I've done my homework. I'm blowing up the building.
I remember the mission being quite cool.
In that case, it's a deal. I can't tell you how relieved I am, Dulcina. Thank you for helping me bring this nightmare to an end. I'll iron out the remaining details with your Herr Amsel. He'll want to talk this over with you anyway, I'm sure. You're a good woman, Dorsina. You're saving more lives than you know. I'm having a dilemma, Hammer. I'm enjoying my video game, but it is 3:30. But I'm not that tired.
Another hour to think about
Simon, how's your sleepyometer? You're fine. Okay. I think I'll play for another hour or something. I'm not tired, but I shouldn't stay up super duper ultra mega ultra late for once. I'm making really bad habits. And you're meant to be going for a run with Lee tomorrow. You need to let him know whether you are or not, though. He hasn't said what time. A little busy right now, Chief. Gotta get things ready for the bank job after all. Thanks for helping out with that. You're a lifesaver. I don't think anyone's gonna have anything new to say. Oh, there is. It's bound to happen eventually. Probably sooner rather than later. I suppose I could refuse, but that probably wouldn't be a good idea. Especially not now. Remember, boss, the Dragon Slayer is where my magic comes from. If I turn away from him, you better believe he'll turn away from me. Besides which, I don't even know if I can refuse him anymore. He's been with me for so long. I don't know where he stops and I begin. Don't worry about me, boss. I've known this was coming my entire life. When it happens, I'll go down in a blaze of glory, the likes of which you can't even imagine. That's a promise. It's an interesting idea. If a gang or corporation was big enough or heinous enough, he might be satisfied to consider them a dragon. Never tried to bargain or negotiate with the Dragon Slayer before. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I don't know how he'd take it either. Dragon Slayer doesn't like to be questioned, and his temper's even shorter than mine. I'll tell you what, boss. I'll think about it. Dragon Slayer doesn't want me to die, but he does want me to kill dragons, and that ain't supposed to be safe or easy. Isn't my idol's fault that I'm getting too old to keep up with his wishes. Nothing new, boss. Alexander's adjusting. It's just going to take some time. Any thoughts on the last run? I've already read this. That makes the question, has anyone else got other information? Because I thought I'd exhausted their dialogue trees. But some of them have more than one list of dialogue trees per home time.
Yeah.
I assume most chats further your friendship rating. Welcome back to... I bet if you play this on PC, someone's made a mod to view friendships.
There's some really good mods to this game, actually.
I'm playing it on PS5, so don't tell me any more than that. Yeah. I'll regret it.
They're just good story mods.
Okay, just adds more.
Entirely new campaigns in different parts of the world. And the ones I played, there's Cow. Caper and Cow. Chains, which are like a series of like mods that follow a continuing story. They're pretty good. All about set in California. There's like underground cities full of dwarves and big bank heist mission that involves you setting off an earthquake to stop a train, then getting the thing off the train, and then you find out that it's some like biological super weapon. And you take it to one of the dragons, who's a nature dragon, to keep it safe, and then the corporate dragon that owns it, Loft Square,
We've mentioned Loft, what's his face in here,
attacks the sanctuary, and you've got to like hold him off for like a set amount of turns because you have no chance of actually beating him. It is really good, and then the story of all the same characters continues on in other ones where you gallivant all around America trying to figure out this plot of what this biological mass extinction weapon was for and why the dragons want it so badly.
Is the writing as good as the original game?
Almost.
That's quite impressive.
Bits and pieces of it
just feel a bit raw,
but it captures the
essence,
style and vibe, and all the portraits are
same
done
style,
incredibly close to the original style, but with brand new characters. It just feels like it could be a DLC for the game. But obviously it takes place in a completely different part of the world with completely different characters. But they mention the events of DragonFall.
Cool. Welcome back, Josina. How'd the meeting with Fra Mula go? I accepted the job. Any ideas how to tackle this? A few. Fra Mula has provided us with detailed info on the building, the facility. I have vetted the information. It seems to hold up. Based on this intel, I've formulated what I believe to be an effective strategy to bring down the building. According to Mula's intel, the facility is extraordinarily well guarded. Whatever this bloodline project is, the Azis have spared no expense to defend it. The facility is patrolled by Az Technologies' internal security personnel. On their own, they would pose a challenge, but I don't doubt you could brute force your way through them. Unfortunately, they will not be on their own. They have purchased a Knight Errant's expensive security contract as an additional line of defence. There's a kicking in the front door is out then. I would say so. Pulled some strings, and the old contact of mine. He's provided us with the address of a small software developer, OTK International. They should write a firmware update for Knight Errant's comm systems, and their defences should be considerably weaker than Az Technologies. My contact informed me that OTK stores an off-site hard copy of every firmware update it develops for data security purposes. My suggestion is this: hit the officers OTK International and reduce their computers to slag. In the interim, I'll have a hard copy of the next update replaced with a compromised version. When the next update goes live, our compromised version will be pushed out to Knight Errant. When you hit the Aztec facility, I'll be able to track the Knight Errant via their comlinks, and this should make the run much more manageable. So you'll basically have GPS chips in them or something. You'll get through the front door of the office park. This will get you through the front door for OTK International. My contact was only able to provide me with one card, so you'll need to let the rest of your team in through the side door. Sounds like a plan. Very good. Their offices aren't far from here. You should take the U-Bahn there when you're ready. Now, I think the side missions tend to be shorter than the main missions. As I don't want to be up forever, I should probably try and do a side mission. Sound logical?
Yeah, do a side mission and...
Pharma Laboratory was loose ends. I don't want to do that. That is the main mission. They're not differently coloured actually. The U-Bahn to Dragonkivy. I think that might be the one of do it yourself. There's the optional ones.
And hold on to the money you've got because you've got a lot of medkits and storage.
Yeah, I've used one.
Grenades you can get for cheap. Because they can be very powerful single-use items that can turn the tide. I know you like the consumables, but they're good. They're very good. You've seen enemies use them to great annoying effect. Especially the flashbang ones that reduce all your AP.
Does the gun guy sell grenades?
I think so.
He wasn't happy with me because I didn't spend any money. Consumables. It doesn't show me how many inventory slots I've got spare. errant flashbang grenade sounds pretty good.
Just too OP to only hit the blast with something's hit, yeah.
I think I've got one. Got a couple actually. Where's it gone?
Has it already equipped?
I think it's put it in the inventory.
Yeah.
I think it was the tall looking one.
Because if a fight's going badly, those can really give you some breathing room.
Oh, I picked that up on a mission. I can't even buy them that good yet. I'll just buy one. Because I've got quite a lot of consumable stuff just in my stash. I've got 2 points, but I'm pretty sure there's nothing I can do with 2 points. That isn't just a waste of 2 points that I could hold on to until I had enough to do anything with. Do I try and clear the debt, or do I try and find Ezekiel's lab? I think I'll go to the lab because I'll get more people. I'm a bit nervous about doing the ones where I've got a limited squad. Blitz is coming with me. Oh, one of the missions I did was one where I didn't need the Decker. I was like, I knew this could happen, but I'm not happy about it. We're going to go for the team I've been going for so far. Iga has not had any action since the start of the game. I took her on one mission which I chose diplomacy for.
It's a shame, she is very powerful, but if your cover setups working well for you,
it's working really well.
Yeah, you always want the Decker. Gloria is just insanely strong.
I love Gloria.
And Diedrich's just excellent for like buffing.
The ride to the Ordenaplas is a dismal one. Your only company on the trains is an elderly dwarf in a ragged pea coat. He spends most of the time muttering to himself. When the train rattles to a stop, he slowly rises from his perch and begins to hobble towards the doorway. The station itself ain't much different, an old, broken-down thing at the end of its useful life, feebly tottering towards obsolescence. This area of Berlin has clearly seen better days. A window of light shines down on the surface, and even that looks stale. Slowly, you begin to climb. Do I want to put another thing in my inventory slot? Glory being a medicine person as well is strange. It's like you can't change what she's got equipped, it's just medkits.
Combat medic, I guess, is a thing.
You have karma, it's 2 karma.
Yeah, not really do much with that.
Streets above the Adenplows are dark and dismal. The quays have seen better days. Everything here reeks of economic depression and faded glory. Looming above you is a fortress-like, seemingly impregnable facility. The windows have been shuttered with enormous steel panels, leaving the entire building a sinister appearance. It's our target, subtle in bioscience. I wonder what happened in there. Might still be happening. That's a cheerful thought. Come on, Chief, let's get this over with. Pardon me. Is that a ghost? No, I think it's a parking meter. Does it not look a tiny bit like a child ghost?
It does.
Discarded tires. This pile of trash is steaming. Fetid waves of stench wash over you as you draw near. It was the only interactable in the area. It's going to be important. God damn, that's rank. I'll stay back here if you don't mind. I've got better things to do than dig through a pile of decomposing trash. Might not be decomposition. That steam could be coming from a grate or a vent under the pile. Yeah, well I ain't touching it. It was a vent. What do I win? Progress. Ah, that's quite a lot of strength. Yes, I'm sure I can, but I wanted to read what this said. Doors sealed tight. Dirt, dust and grime have caked around the corners. It's clear no one has been through in many months. You can see hydraulic jacks locking the door into place near the bottom of the frame. Ah, a drone. Garbage was concealing a small... I don't know what a HVAC is, aircon.
Oh, has it got his own drone?
I found a broken drone, got it repaired, then they went, well, it's owned by somebody, we don't know who, but only the person that owns it can make it work. But he saw me pick it up and didn't say anything about it. Which was a bit odd. The steam that pours from it smells much cleaner now it isn't being filtered through a heap of filth. A dwarf might be able to fit inside the vent, but nothing larger. Was dwarf a class I could pick?
Yeah.
So, do you reckon you could have got a dwarf through there?
Yeah, I think if you're a dwarf, yeah.
You probably do have an option. Send a drone! Oh, I control the drone. Is that dead end? Oh, this feels dreadful. At the end of the duct, you find a maintenance panel. It's designed with a big, chunky handle suited for drone operation. Behind the hatch, you find a great rat's nest of monofilament wires. Each wire snakes over and around the others to connect to a different endpoint. Thankfully, all the endpoints are labelled. It doesn't take long to find the wire that governs the power locks on the building's front door. Short-circuit it. For a few seconds of fiddling with the wires, you're rewarded with a bright flash and a wisp of oily blue smoke. Light next to the words, lock status door F, fizzles out. The street-level door should be accessible now. But there was more than one path, so is there treasure I can get with the drone? Controlling the drone is giving me flashbacks to the brief moment I played the Digimon World 2 in the buggy. No, that was literally just to waste your time if you went that way. Controls like ass. This game is not designed for narrow corridors and isometric. My characters were invisible for a second there. Enter the lab. Illusion of choice, left or right? Top or bottom?
Top.
Computer. Terminal governs the animal testing wing of Sutherland Bioscience. Data entries concerned animal test subjects and the procedures performed upon them. Fill the menu screen. Hellhound testing protocols and Basilisk testing protocols. Doggos. Notes on a variety of invasive test procedures that were performed on a kennel of Hellhound test subjects. Several memos amended to the file. Apparently scientists working on animal testing were less convinced that working with dangerous fire-breathing animals would yield useful results than the executives were. Basilisks. Entry covers various forms of experimentation and testing performed on Switzerland's prized possessions, a rare albino basilisk, acquired from exotic animals dealer in Portugal. Here's the basilisk was being used as the primary focus of a passion project at Switzerland. Attempt to create a magically active piece of Bioware. Why the executives in charge of the project felt a basilisk would make an appropriate test subject is not clear. List of procedures performed on the creature is extensive, including a series of unanesthetized thoracic surgeries? Does that mean on the thorax? I don't know what that means. I know it means he was awake. Executive clearance panel. Well, I haven't found. It's hermetically sealed. Months of disuse have left it covered in dust. Simple swipe key card access has been mounted on the door frame. Block letters on the system read executive clearance only. Well, can't do anything with that without a key card. Ah, my Deco could just do this for me. Door is locked with high-tech maglock and a swipe key access system. The status screen indicates the lock's been overrun by a local computer on the network. There's also an option to climb down, but I'm gonna just get my Deco hack it. Hack unlocks the door. Unauthorized access. Priming weapon systems for pacification. Oh dear. Now, if only we had a variety of options. Oh no, look at this, Kieran. Look how badly designed this menu is. Look at all that space it could take up instead. To be fair, that's a fucking worthless skill anyway, so... Oh, you know what? Oh, that does damage. Stuns? No, that's what I was looking for, but I'm not familiar with the icons yet. Does it matter how close to the blast they are?
I don't think so.
Hell's this? Oh, drone control. Oh, there's baddies out there as well. Setting a drone stance allows direct control at the cost of 1 AP per turn for the rigger while it's active. Oh, it's in follow mode. I don't see it. Oh, it's just floating there. I assume the drone will actually shoot if it gets near a bad guy? I don't know. Well, costs 1 AP per turn, and he gets AP, so it does AP damage. We also have it do that thing where you stand there and wait to get shot at. But does that what's it called? This thingy. Does that cost AP to activate? Ah, okay. Hit that. Oh, that's a piss poor chance. Oh, because I tried to use that. actually an idle thing on us since we... Fucking missed! Gloria's attack missed! Well, we achieved next to nothing that round. Didn't set up my haste either because I pressed the wrong choice by accident on Daedrich. I tried to set... Oh, actually. A haste first. Oh, I had Glory in my hand and for some bloody reason... Oh, because I got confused because she had her items bar open instead of her adrenal pump, which costs one but gives you one back immediately, so it's always worth just using that instantly. Do 18 damage. And I'm pretty sure drones won't bleed. Now my chance to hit that's lower, but it's got damage already. Yes. Watch out. It says we know who you care about. Oh no, it's highlighted the wrong person. Can't you reach anything, my dude? In the way. Move. Can he... Well, he can't hit anything from where he is, so... Where is it? Ooh, full. That takes armor off the enemy. Bleed damage won't happen on enemies. That also takes armor off. Oh. I can reach it, but I've already tenderized these guys, but I'm not going to be able to kill everything this turn. Shrug it off, fine. Don't want to take... Taking the armor off will mean other people hitting it will do more damage. Does stripping armor only happen for that turn or for its lifetime? Okay, so that's worth doing. Armor damage. That also strips armor off, but it's only got one armor left anyway. Bollocks. Fucking missed. It's alright, the enemy missed as well. Oh, he's threw a mortar at Dietrix. Where is my friend? Where's Gloria gone? In that mess somewhere. She will get hit by this. I could move her slightly away first. Mad as that seems. Waste 1 AP to get her out of the smash zone. Whee! Nice. He's because I have never been able to use Dietrix, or whatever you call it, AoEs, because he's never been in a good position for it, ever. Yet again, it won't. Oh, I can reach those ones actually. 80% chance. It's better than nothing. If it hits. Oh, the other drones are sleepy. One of the drones is sleepy. Oh, that fucking missed. Missed again. Now, hit adjacent targets. Does that only mean... I don't fully understand that, to be honest with you. So in theory it would hit one of them. It's showing you where I should stand, right, okay. They've got circles, right. There's always been clutter in the room, so I've not been able to actually see what's going on. Right, well that's them tidied up. or side? Yeah, I haven't done any climb diamonds yet. Oh, a scientist. A wild-eyed young man in a tattered lab coat confronts you. His beard is bushy and unkempt, but bare patches of skin show through. You there! Who are you? How dare you enter my domain? Easy there, pal. I thought this lab was abandoned. Abandoned? This is my territory, my home. You're an invader in my territory, she-elf, and I'll have you... And you've murdered my peasantry. Got a live one here, boss. You're a murderer, a monster. You will pay. Who the hell are you? And I only killed some drones. I haven't killed any people yet. Very much on the yet side. I am Philip Rex, the Night King of ShadowRun Bioscience. Have you banished for your transgressions, she-elf, banished to the underworld, and left with the ravages of all-powerful Billy. It's not a really threatening name, is it? Billy. Hold still while I fetch the robots that will banish you. He has, but I'm still going to try and talk to him. I'm going to try and negotiate myself a new friend. They tried to shoot me, I killed them because they tried to kill me. They wouldn't do that, they were gentle and kind. You're an outsider. You don't understand the bonds of trust and respect we shared. Did my best to make life good for the peasantry. I scrubbed their plastic cases on a daily basis, and I crooned pleasing melodies to ease their troubled minds. Those days are over now. My peasants are dead. You destroyed something beautiful. I see what's going on here. Living here alone for 2 years has reduced your mind to pudding. Right, sire. Sorry about the peasants, but I'm on an important quest. Oh, well that changes everything. Perilous quests and civilian casualties go together like chocolate and peanut butter. Can't stay mad at you for that. Tell me about this quest of yours, good she-elf. Leave nothing to the imagination. You have my rapt attention. I'm here to liberate some prototype bioware. The stuff Dr. Xavier Izakel funded. Izakel sent you? The treacherous Spaniard? You must be looking for the samples in cold storage. That means you're heading for the executive wing. Take this as a warning, stranger. If you intend to forge your way in the land of milk and honey, you do so at your own peril. The underworld stands between you and your goal, and the underworld is home to the murderous Billy. Was that the basilisk? Was is right. Now he's much more. A creature of legend. Years of experimentation have remade the beast into the ultimate killing machine. He's smarter than 10 men and 5 times as deadly. Billy's in the way, I'm gonna have to kill him. Fool's errand. Heine tried to kill Billy once. He thought that by eating the beast we could steal its power. Hubris. Billy devoured my friend for his insolence, and the last remaining copy of Keycard E was lost. He was a beautiful fool, that Heine, but I told him that we didn't need to eat Billy, that we could survive indefinitely on synthesized cardiac tissue and choco nubs. But he wouldn't listen. Keycard E was lost, and without it I can no longer access the executive wing and its expansive snack bar. I've eaten nothing but vat-grown meta-human organs for a year and a half, stranger. I would kill for a choco nub. Very well, stranger. If you cannot be dissuaded, I will help you. Fish is in his coat pocket with a bony hand. He produces a thin slip of plastic. He presents it to you with a flourish. This is my most prized possession, incomparable Keycard B. Using this, you can descend to the underworld and face Billy. You should survive the encounter. Search for the long-missing Keycard E. Use it to reopen the executive wing. I'll see to it you are richly rewarded. Is that a friendly drone? That is a friendly drone. Surveillance terminal. It's in the security system. Ah, search the video archive. Passing through the computer's file system, you find a number of archived video feeds from the building's surveillance system. in addition to episodes 1 through 6 of an old Slovakian period fantasy series called Night Kings of Lightninghold. That's all he's had to entertaining him. I've been saved on the machine's desktop. I remember that show, it was horrible. I mean, really, really bad. Made Neil the Orc Barbarian look like high art. Me and my buddies in the Schwarzhausen used to get high and laugh at it. I only ran for 7 episodes before it got pulled, so he hasn't even got the last episode. According to the Completers file system, each of the 6 episodes has been viewed over 400 times in the past 2 years. The last marathon viewing was this morning. As the video kicks in, Philip's engaged in an animated discussion with someone who's standing just outside of camera range. You can see his shoes and his shadow, but nothing more. The voice sounds human. You'd guess that off-camera speaker is a man in his early 20s. Look, we've survived this long. If we play our cards right and do a proper bit of rationing, I reckon we can live off the executive Sanak bar for a long time to come. We've plenty of fat and sugar, those won't be a problem. We've got mixed nuts for protein, and we get our vitamins and minerals from diet bars. There aren't many of those, but like I said, we'll ration. We're willing to bet we can hold out for 2 to 3 months on what's stashed away in that snack bar. We're sure to be rescued before we run dry. You're fooling yourself, man. Ignoring an unpleasant truth rather than facing it. Have to accept the fact we could be stuck in here for the long haul. Snacks are great and all, but they can't be our staple foodstuff. We need to stretch them out as far as humanly possible. And that means supplementing them with something more substantial. You don't mean... Look, just think of it as farming, right? If we look after our crops, we'll always have food to eat. We have enough supplies on hand to keep the tissue cultures in the organic chemistry ring growing indefinitely. What we're talking about is growing meat for our own survival. That's all it is. Meta-human meat, Phil. Synthetic hearts and livers and kidneys. Grown to be implanted into people like you and me. You're talking about eating people parts. It's fucking disgusting and I won't do it. They're not actually coming from a human though. Like, I don't really care for offal, but like if you had a 3D printer thingy that was just generating infinite food, it's just food that I don't really like.
Yeah, that would be sweet. Like proper
It's not from a person, and it's also specifically from meta-humans, so like goblins and that. Which are people, but are less people-y than people. I have killed enough orcs and goblins in my time in gaming. Unless you fancy dying of malnutrition, you're gonna have to. Oh, they're full people. Yeah, I know.
Your race.
I'll eat the pointy ears as well. But again, it's not coming from an actual living being. We're just like stem celling it somehow. They must have like a culture, a bit like when you make yogurt. You make like, I think it's called like the mother or something creepy, or that might be Kefka. It's the bacteria yeast thingy, and you can keep it going like forever as long as you just occasionally give it water and sugar. It'll just keep being alive, and you can make infinite yogurt and stuff with it. I think it has temperature preferences as well, but I don't really care for sourdough bread, or I like yogurt obviously, but I don't like bio-live yogurt. Tastes furry on the tongue. Unless you fancy dying of malnutrition, you're gonna have to. You know that as well as I do. Organ meats are rich in vitamins and minerals. Choline, CoQ10, vitamin D, I know what that one is. Bioavailable iron. All the things we're going to need if we want to survive long term. You won't find much vitamin D in licorice sticks and choco nubs. You're talking like they're never going to rescue us. We're in Berlin, Heine. What they? Who do you think is coming? We need to be prepared to survive here for a long time. Maybe years. That means making the most of the resources at our disposal. Hear me out though. You could just keep generating lots. Oh, it depends if it goes off. It probably will go off. You want to just like make one heart, eat it, make another one. That's probably the most efficient way to do it. You're talking about resorting to cannibalism, man. No, I'm talking about eating meat. Yeah. Well, if anyone has an opinion on cannibalism, it's you, and you say it's not cannibalism. It wasn't a people, it was never sentient. It's just a bit of flesh. Image flickers on the frame. Philip leaning against a wall, listlessly chewing on an unidentifiable hunk of cooked meat. He looks miserable. A drone comes to inspect him and he pushes it away. Heine's voice crackles over the intercom. Philip doesn't look up. I'm going now, Phil. No more arguments, okay? There's a long pause. In lieu of responding, Philip takes another bite of meat and gnashes at it with his teeth. I'll kill that fucking thing, you see. That goddamn basilisk is going down. Once we get down the sewers again, we might be able to find a way out. This is our chance, Philip. Wish me luck. Philip says nothing. The video continues to play for a time, then cuts to static. Flickers on the screen. You find Philip standing in the corner of the room. The room that I'm in now. He looks haggard, exhausted, and carries a haunted look in his eyes. Heine is notably absent. Did he eat Heine? Cheap, synthesized music pipes from somewhere off screen. Oh no, it's the range. It's the range! Philip turns to stare in the direction that music came from. A smooth, baritone voice sings out a phrase in slowback. Half a second later, a different voice shouts a translation in German. Night Kings over the lightning hold! That's not a German accent, but whatever, I want to be stupid. Oh man, that's it, that's the show! I forgot how bad the dub job was. Oh, they haven't overlaid it. They've just said it shortly afterwards. That's horrendous. Philip stares, glassy-eyed, at the show begins. The synthesized music blares. A deep trollish voice rumbles out of the media center speakers. I, Titanus Rex, will defend my realm. I do so swear it before my magic sword, Agnonar, Argonar. I do swear. Ah! An elf actress. An alarmingly breathy, elfish voice sings out in response. But Titanus, the Jubathon hordes will smite you if you stay. The people in the valley are only peasants. You needn't throw your life away for them. Flee with me into the enchanted wood of Trollasheen. Please make this stop. My life is sworn to protect those peasants, she-elf. Run back to your enchanted trees if you will, but a Night King will never flee. But Titanus, you cannot die. I love you. Then go to your father and beseech him to rally his elf troops of southward. For if Titanus Rex falls, Lightning Hold will fall, and Lightning Hold will not fall. The troll drones on, audibly struggling to emote and occasionally tripping over his lines. It's me! Overall, the acting quality is roughly on par with what you'd expect at a primary school Christmas pageant. That sounds about right for my personal voice acting talent. Philip stares at the screen, listlessly chewing his meat. His nose shrinkled in distaste, and his fists clench and unclench. Mercifully, the video feed cuts to static. The screen flickers. The video feed of Philip pops on the screen. He's standing in the corner, watching an episode of Night Kings of Lightning Hold. His jaw hangs slack and he stares at the screen in rapt attention. But father, Titanus Rex is risking his life, nay, his very soul, to defend Lightning Hold from the Jubathons. His enchanted sword, Ragnar, feeds upon his honour and bravery, and it seeks to transform him from noble Night King to an evil demon lord. Philip's lips move silently, mouthing his words as they're spoken. Evidently, he has committed the entire script to memory. My darling daughter, this is why I cannot send my troops. Your beloved Titanus Rex walks the knife's edge between light and darkness every time he draws that devil blade from its scabbard. It is long past time that you learned the truth about me. Brenethe, I was the one who trapped the demon lord Karabor within that blade. Oh! But father, you can't mean... Yes, my daughter. I was the one they called Thunderspear, the sworn enemy of Titanus Rex's people, the Hongo barbarian tribe. Then this is all your fault. The Jubathons, the threat to my beloved soul, all of it. It was the only way to save Trollasheen, my darling daughter. Trollasheen and your mother, who I hid away when you were but a girl. She's still alive, Brenethe. Security drone floats by to inspect Philip. Idly, he reaches out and begins to stroke its casing, petting it as if it were a house cat. speed. Screen flickers and Philip appears on screen. He appears to be dancing with one of the security drones. Little machine weaves and bobs frantically to avoid colliding with him. With every motion, the lab tech slides in to fill the empty space. I feel a bit bad about killing those drones. There wasn't really an option though, they were shooting at me. Could I have actually ran past them and opened the door? Maybe. I really don't think that would be possible. I think the door would have been locked. And also there was absolutely no way I was going to know that they were his house cat drones. Around they go, twirling and writhing across the laboratory floor. There's an enormous smile on Philip's face. The lights go dim and an alarm begins to sound. Danger! Danger! Intruder detected. Security protocols engaged. I admire your bravery, noble vassal. But this is my fight. Philip Rex will defend the land with my life. Indeed, with my very soul. Sir, please clear the area. Hostiles inbound. No, noble spirit, it is you who must. I repeat, clear the area. Hostiles inbound. Maybe you're right. I'm already Night King. Perhaps this is your time to shine. I'll not rob you of this moment of glory. I'll allow you your moment in the sun. When you return victorious, I will grant you lands and titles to reward your heroism. Oh. Please clear the area. Philip turns and steps out of the camera range. The drone is joined by two others, which wait in holding position facing the camera. Picture breaks to static and the feed cuts off. He went mad! What did you think of my amazing girl voice acting? It's almost as feminine as yours. I think we do a better girl voice. Oh, it's got more dialogue. It's my life, my entire life, my reason for being. Must have been rough being that big a fan and not having seen the ending. You're saying there's more? Yeah, the last episode before it got cancelled. You know, the hastily written final chapter where you find out what happens with the Jubathon invasion. I'd always thought they left the ending to the imagination, like a beautiful dream. But now the dream is over. I'll never know peace until I've seen the conclusion for myself. You must help me. We must find a way to show me the final episode. I need it. Well, the bet I could do that, Chief. This guy might not know how to disengage. This guy might not know how to disengage the current. This guy may not know how to disengage the quarantine, but I'll bet I can. And once I've re-established the building's matrix connection, no big deal for me to download the latest episode for him to watch. Nothing else, it'll keep him occupied for a while. Yeah? It's a nice thing to do. Sure thing, Chief. Terminals in this building are all networked together. Should be able to drop the quarantine from any computer in the place. Oh, thank you, thank you! This is the happiest day of my life! I haven't got the keycard yet. What normal things? What about the prototype Bioware? It's Bioware. Pretty standard stuff. Pain editors, trauma dampeners, orthoskin, things like that. Hang on! Things you named are all commercially available. Really expensive but obtainable. They can't be what they were developing here. Certain Biosense wasn't developing anything. And nothing other than Billy, I guess. We developed him all too well. What are you doing here? You're copying? Making copies? Oh, wait a second, it'll come to me. We were, reverse engineering things. Making knockoffs. Dangerous work. Illegal in most places, but not here in Berlin. Our investor needed it that way. That's why Isabel didn't hire a company in Spain. Yeah, too risky. Here in Berlin, no problems with the law, because there is no law. Just have to be careful. All for naught though. Our copies were good, just like the real thing. But who cares? It's all just meat in the end. If you won't miss the meat, I'll take it off your hands. Go right ahead. Fill your pockets. Take what you like. I, on the other hand, will avail myself of the snack bar. Tell me of the peasants. I love them. They're like family to me. When I'm hungry, they're the ones who harvest the meat for me to cook from the cultured organ lab. When I'm in need of company, they keep me warm. Sounds cozy. There's no need to be mean to him. It is, actually. Killed 3 of them, but I can activate more. They'll return to me, and I'll show them they love only a true ruler can. I will bathe them in my affection, and they... How many more peasants do you have in the building? Oh, hundreds! The security system here is quite the state of art. User-friendly, too. Didn't take long to figure out how to make the peasants wake up and others go to sleep. I allow the majority of my peasantry to rest peacefully, basking in the benevolence of my rule. I can wake them at any time, but why? It's a good job we negotiated with him, isn't it? I say let them rest. Probably the best. We talk about something else. Maybe we could use the peasants to kill Billy. My peasants? Sent against that monster? Never. No, stranger, I tell you it would be a massacre. I would have their blood in my hands. I cannot do it and I will not. End of discussion. Yeah. That would be too easy if we sent 100 drones in and just murder one roided up lizard. The nether realm that lies beneath the hallowed halls of Sutterin Bioscience, a nightmarish labyrinth of dripping pipes and filthy brickwork. Billy rules supreme down there. Set foot in the underworld means certain death. Yeah, why would we build a labyrinth? Calling him out on being crazy probably won't help, I don't think. You've got to play into his craziness. It is, isn't it? A mystery, a conundrum. What could they have intended it for? The torture of the innocent? Or perhaps the builders had the prescience to foresee the coming of Billy? Or maybe they intended it for basic sanitation. It's a sewer too, by the way. But it's also a nightmarish labyrinth of... I gotcha. What happened? We closed the lockdown. Calamitous series of events. It began with a spilled cup of soy cap and ended in terror and blood. Did somebody spill soy cap on the activation buttons? Is that how this all happened? Someone had coffee in the lab. Fall silent. It's a long, awkward pause. And you want more? Yes, please. Then you shall have one. Where to begin? On the morning of the lockdown, all went well. Geisler, an executive, was making his rounds, walking from console to console to check up on us. He had a bubbling cup of soy cap in his stubby little hands. We all knew that food and drink were forbidden outside the employee lounge. Geisler was a proud man. He would not obey the rules. His pride was our undoing. He tripped and fell, and his soy cup spilled into a console in the animal testing wing. A terrible snap of shorting circuits coupled with a stench of ozone. All over the building, emergency lights flashed and alarms blared. The building went into quarantine mode. Oh. Doors locked and shutters slammed closed. We all trapped like rats inside, but we were not afraid. We were sure that the malfunction would be fixed within the hour. We did not know what was coming for us. Unbeknownst to any of us, Geisler's devil beverage had done more than initiate a false quarantine. It had also shorted the locks on Billy's cage. The albino basilisk slipped its bonds, and in that moment, the reign of terror began. Within half an hour of the spill, Billy had slaughtered everyone who could have disengaged the lockdown. Executives were torn limb from limb. The business attire was shredded. Their expenditure reports bathed in blood, and the rest of us were trapped inside with the savage beast. I don't know, sounds pretty based. Took up the CEOs and that. Well, the researchers may have been doing evil things. They were just making knockoffs, but someone was torturing this poor animal. In the end, only Heiner and I remained. We managed to trap Billy in the underworld. There's no hope of escape for us. Surely someone came knocking. No. As far as the outside world was concerned, we were still under quarantine protocols. Nobody knew why, and nobody cared. The building had presumably been sealed for a reason. The world at large wasn't in a hurry to crack it open again. Heiner and I found ourselves completely isolated from the outside world. A terrible creature running loose in the basement. Our choices were to give up and die, or make the best of it. As you can plainly see, we chose the latter. We persevered and eventually transformed this husk of a building into a glorious kingdom you find yourself standing in today. It was all for the best in the end. I tamed this land, I've grown to love it. I'll never live anywhere else. Yeah, later. Bless him, he's completely mad. Ah, look, I'm not climb down. I want to go through the other door first. There is more than one climb down port. Scientific terminal! Ask for a password. The terminal appears to contain an inventory control system for subtle and biosciences merged. Items are spelled out in amber, lettering against a solid black background. A glowing cursor awaits your input. Oh? Ah! I want to do a read. Oh, look at what's done with the text, Kieran. I didn't have a scroll option there, it's just scrolled down too far. There. Makes organs. And you poke the organs. Okay, I'll read out any that were actually interesting. That was just... there was some stuff. ShadowRun had achieved a shocking level of success at producing fake versions of commercial and restricted BioWare products. So they basically made Tesco everyday value versions of like Heinz beans, but like of organs and shit. But that theoretically means you could sell them for, assuming he was being honest about them being knockoffs, which I bet he wasn't. You could sell them for a lower rate than the premium ones and allow more people to access them. But I don't think that's what Mr. Big Moneybucks was doing. Could undercut his competitors and make an ungodly profit. Yeah, he's not declaring the fake. But if they work the same, who cares if it's got a Heinz label on it? I feel if I was getting bio implants though, I would go with the big brand. Doggos, medical histories. Oh, we don't know what Billy is yet. Pretty sure it's... oh no, he's told us it is the Limzard. Alright, Chief, watch me work. Plugs the cyber deck in, presses the escape key, and then he presses the Y key. I feel like I could have done that. That can't have been it. You have to do something else, right? Jack in the Matrix or something. Nope, that's it. Quarantine disengaged. And now I get Phil, the last episode of his bullshit trade show. Oh, I guess he needed the biohacker or whatever it's called in his head. But fucking hell. His fingers danced over the deck keypad. A few minutes later he glances up with a smile. Done and done. Horrible conclusion to that terrible show is waiting for Phil in this media centre. You want to know how it ends? Not particularly. Too bad, because I'm telling you anyway. Titanus Rex and his elf Sweetie's dad make up, a bunch of elves fight the Jubathons and get their asses kicked, and the whole Carbok the Demon Lord subplot is dropped because the show's effects budget's got cut. In the end, Titanus saves Lightning Hold by rallying a peasant revolt. Comes out of nowhere, barely makes sense, and the whole thing ends in a vomit-inducing love scene. It's a goddamn train wreck. As long as it keeps Phil happy. Key card. Go in there. Oops. There is one treasure. I'm gonna go and tell him his shitty show's finished first though. Before I climb down any sewers where I'm not planning to die, and obviously reloading is always an option. But canonically, I am going to give him the final episode before I walk into certain doom. Oh, he just... Oh, you can watch his TV show. Yes, peace will be known and brought to the land. He takes off running. Oh, he actually took off running. That's cute. Is the TV going to turn on? Is that clever? Oh no, it's all the exact same. Shit. Yeah, I was going to talk to him. I owe you so much, noble Strayman. Thanks to you, I know how the story ends. It's more beautiful than I could possibly have hoped. I, Philip Rex, could proclaim it to be so. My only remaining desire is to return to the land of plenty that is the executive wing. You have undertaken the task of getting me there, and for that I shall be forever grateful. Yeah, later. That wasn't as much of a response as I expected, to be perfectly honest. But he's happy. Absolutely fucking do, Lally. There's lots of different paths that I can climb down, but as this one required a key, I assume this one is the best drop-down point. Like, this might put me in an advantageous situation. Oh, a locked safe. That's not very advantageous. I'll just go straight back up. Haven't been given any codes or anything. Oh, swipe my key. What did I get? What did I get? Semi-automatic injector of bliss. Which would allow someone to actually be able to make those and then install them on a character. But I don't know which drugs do what. I think one or two of the drugs have like no downsides. So getting an injector installed could be worth it if it's one that's just like increase intelligence. But I feel like drugs should have consequences. But I mean, this is the future. Maybe they've just invited drugs where there's no consequences.
Yeah. It's like people get high off the arm these days.
Sniff, 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 sniff.
So I probably should sniff.
What have we found? I'm trying to pick it up. 40 currency. Okay, that wasn't really. Someone in the not too distant past has smeared the surface with feces. Oh, we're getting hit. Oh, look at them! Lizards and doggos. He's a big boy. Wow. I'm going for the technique I've gone for every other time. Glory gets haste on the first turn. I actually think I would have been better if instead of doing that on the first turn, while we're all grouped together, I should have actually used Dragon Slayer's boon or whatever it's called, which reduces damage. Whatever. It's fine. I could hit both of them. I was planning on giving her more aim and armor, but I quite like the idea of hitting these big scary boys and doing HP damage to them that ignores armor. If it actually hits them. Yep, it does. These enemies have got quite a lot of health, actually.
I mean, they are big boys.
He's got the biggest chance of getting hit. I probably don't want to put her straight in the jaws of the beast, though. Nice deal of bones in the lair. Oh, what am I doing, Kieran? Drugs!
Drugs!
Got to do my drugs! That fucking missed! Petrifying Gaze, all AP lost. And now she's on fire. Yeah, I saved before going down. Might have been before I gave him the thing, but... How do you unpetrify some... I don't know if you can.
I don't know.
Is it because I ran up to the basilisk and went, hi!
Tried to get the basilisk.
There's no way I could have possibly known basilisks would do that. It's not like they're described in media several times that way. The drone is called Max. I'll get to heal Glory's wound. Didn't cure her of petrification though. I'm hoping that only lasts like one turn or something. Why did that miss an 88% hit chance? That Hellhound was right next to Gloria and just didn't do anything. Yeah, I don't know if Petrify wears off. I have a feeling I sent my best guy in and she got fucked up. Dunno. I'll move slightly away from Oh shit. I was going to move her away so he could do his attack, it's fine. It's just not matter. Regular magic missile. That's the target is here. It's not gonna figure out. We might be able to survive this, we'll see. There's my best person's been taken down. Oh, I know you target myself with the increased aim in the position I'm in. I mean, not a terrible ability, but... How did that miss? That's not fair. Ah, Gloria's back to life. Now, how many things has she got? It's not an AoE though. It's really hard to see. Probably should have done that first, actually. stay on the screen long enough to read all the status effects, like. -5. -2. So that will die next round. So I can increase my damage on the big one. Strip some armor. Some MP damage. Unless it misses, of course. That dog's meant to bleed out. Why didn't that happen? Oh, and it worn off. But it said it had that on it. That must have meant from the previous turn and it had already taken the damage. That was not clear. Maybe it said 0 rounds and I've missed that information. It's possible. Oh, I should have tried to. Oh, I couldn't actually attack die on that, yep. My wounds are 1, that's not worth listening to. But yep, definitely not my smartest move. I could have hit them with this, but I brought the Throne and Gloria in the room. That was very stupid of me. dodged or something. Oh, we killed the big thing. I'm as surprised as you are. If not more so. Got the executive key card. That was a scary fight. I did send Gloria running into danger before I'd even equipped the...
Yeah, Gloria's strong, but you get to the point in the game
I got away with it, didn't I?
to pick up stuff.
Yeah, only had a key card on it. I forgot where I'm going there. Probably be somewhat intelligent to save just in case something bad happens before I figure out where I'm going next. Ah, I got the key card. Hail, noble she-elf, bringer of good tidings and glorious adventure. What is the news of your quest? Got the key card. At last, my ticket back in the hallowed halls of the executive wing with this expansive supply of non-perishable treats. Hurry, noble stranger. Use it to unlock the door and make all our dreams come true. Where's the door? Can't remember where the door is, mate. The entrance to the zone? I think the music's changed to be like triumphant. So I've got the music on quite low, but I can pleasantly hear the music while still talking over it and talking to you, and there shouldn't be an echo. Yeah, I mean, but I can still hear it. I mean, you probably can not hear it with your headphones on, but I can appreciate it, but it's not loud enough that it bothers me, because sometimes, I mean, I think the music's actually quite good in this, but some games the music can get a bit grating. Oh, look at my background. That's pretty. I don't know, I'm going to click it. Keys panel light blips. We're more pleasant to you, and the door unlocks. Definitely nothing good bad going to be in here, is there? Oh, actually, I think we might be okay. The screen's broken. Bathrooms are disheveled. I believe this is in fact just the executive lounge. This is the BioWare samples, the whole thing I came here for. I didn't pick up any chocolate biscuits for him though. Oh, there he is. Oh, they're vending machines. You've given me everything. My whole heart's desire. The hidden knowledge of Titanus Rex's victory is mine. I'll be a better ruler for it. And also I have sugary snacks. I have it all. All thanks to you, noble she-elf. All thanks to you. No problem. I've got a few more questions though. Please, my friend. Go ahead. Ask whatever you will. I'll gladly... I've already asked him everything. See you around. Yeah, later. Any other dialogue please for him? I'm in yonder debt, noble she-elf. Thanks to you, my reign will be long and joyous. I think I've already got the karma. Yeah, I got the karma for giving him the DD. Different path. Oh, I've been that way, never mind. This was meant to be a short mission, Kieran. I am disorientated. That way. Sometimes it's hard to see the doorways. As you emerge, blinking, into the light of day, you find yourself standing face to face with a veritable wall of security personnel. Man in an expensive suit raises the megaphone to shout at you. You, stay right where you are! I don't need a megaphone, dipshit! You'll place the stolen BioWare samples you're carrying on the ground, then lie on your belly with your hands on your head. Do it now, or I'll order my men to open fire. The person that owns it told me to get it. He would never lie to me. The person making knockoffs would never lie. Easy pal, you mean? Yes, we know all about him. He has quite the reputation back in Spain. We're with Shyway's street scum. And that material infringes on 15 of our company's patents. Oh, I've got to put them on the ground for this, haven't I? They're like the Disney and Nintendo of the world. You've got to take them down. Organs you're carrying are based on our intellectual property. It was locked down for 2 years and you rocked up today. You think that's a coincidence? We came when the quarantine was broken. Eyes on this place since lockdown went into effect. You called us here when you opened the doors. By the way, you could have got in months ago. Building was quarantined, idiot. It's cheaper to set up a camera than it is to mount a hazmat cleanup effort. As long as that counterfeit merchandise was contained, we didn't care what was in there. But it will not hit the streets. Now shut your mouth and hit the floor. I'll order my team to open fire. I'm going to try to negotiate with the terrorists, but I'm pretty sure we're going to get enough. Yep, that sounds about right. That's how I thought that was going to go. Idiot Shadowrunner, you people don't know when to keep your mouths shut. Men, open fire! You will not threaten this woman! Jubathon, dog! Oh, he's got like 100.
Yeah.
The fuck? Too long have my people lived in fear of your aggression. I, Philip Rex, will protect this land from your mongrel deprivations. You two, enter the building. Find whoever's on that intercom and silence him. Yes, sir. As for you... Peasants! Rise and defend your home! You need only believe in yourselves. The power is yours! Oh, I really want them to render more than 2. He said there was hundreds. I think it is. Unfortunately, these have got terrible fucking aim, but they're helping me. I really feel that should have been bordering on a cutscene wipeout. He said he had that many. Bet there would have been more than 4 if I'd fought him proper. Well. Oh, it's a lot better than nothing. I believe we're going to make the same mistake. Oh, actually. Oh, yes. I'll just think I can do stuff that doesn't affect areas. And the best damage doesn't come up still. Sleepy time! I don't know. They look short-circuited. Well, I think it's only fitting that he brings out his drone too. Drugs first, Gloria. think I've got 380. That's bullshit. I haven't got 380 yet. That's a conjurer all the way over there. Over there, but he's got the highest chance to actually hit him. Ooh, that was uncomfortable. That's better. The drones actually just did like 24 damage each there. Very nice. I didn't learn my lesson, Kieran. I don't think I'm likely to learn my lesson, let's be real. I like them. Yeah, I like them. Oh, he's got armor on now. Crits on a one that doesn't need crits. Of course it does. That was uncomfortable. Please target anyone else. Well, I guess we'll get to see what the res kit does. He was just standing out there like a lion. I've always been behind like doorways and stuff, so it's not really mattered in the past. So he's back up again, he's got over it. Did I take heal off there? Why can you not heal him? He's right fucking there, mate.
I don't know because he's rest.
That's actually down. did play the start of the game sensitively. I am almost at the half now. Disregard the fact that that's such cool as that.
There's some shit that's
Crowd control? She's got armor. Put him in cover, you dumb motherfucker.
I'll come for that.
Oh, that's got defense from all angles almost. Half a brain. Wouldn't be a dragon at all, would she? No, that's not doing enough to kill it. But I'll take it down. Another critical on the one that isn't. Tidy him up. Begins to clear, a cry of jubilation sound heard over the Citroen Bioscience building's intercom system. We've done it! We've done it, my friends! The Jubathon hordes have been defeated! For this great victory, I declare a new age of exploration and commerce. My peasants will form trade arrangements with a neighbouring kingdom to the betterment of all! None of these options are come with me, we'll work together.
No,
he's too far gone. Bless him.
Too far gone.
Farewell, stalwart she-elf. I'll remember you always. That was a little bit dicey. And yeah, I could see oh, my excellent. Oh! Kieran, I did not know that. It's tiny! Inadequate for my personal needs. Now, I am not traumatized at all, I can't say. I know, I hate that that's up there. I was wanting to save in case the train got hijacked again. I'm liking to think they wouldn't do that straight after each other. Do you want to read that?
U-Bahn trip back from Azenbrat is a shaky one. Surprisingly, the train car is packed. The only empty seats are at the very back of the car. A haggard-looking young mother marches down the aisle, dragging her 3 screaming children behind her. 2 boys and a girl, each around 6 years old. The woman nears you, her eye fixed on the frozen pouches of bioengineered meat that you liberated from Sterling's executive freezer. She opens her mouth to say something. That moment, the little girl jams her finger in her brother's nose. The boy howls and the young mother's shoulders slump. Slowly, robotically, she turns back towards her destination, begins to trundle forward, dragging her squalling offspring forward with the solemnity.
What?
Solemnity?
Oh, solemn. I don't know how you say
solemnity. Solemnity?
I've no idea.
That word.
Solemnness.
Of a funeral procession. Eventually the train hums to a stop. You debark gratefully, lugging a freezer's worth of Bioware samples behind you.
Ka-ching!
Sweet!
Right, what horrendous time are we on? Past 5. Kieran, this was meant to be a short mission. Oh, inspect. Oh. I got my name on it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember where I think it's the top of the town for the medicine-y place.
Yes.
Oh, I think I got Kieran to do that. You're Kieran. I think I got Simon to do that. Ah, you're back. You have my merch. Right here. So you do. Yes, this is exactly what I've been waiting for. Good luck. Good work, Darcina. Looks like a kid in a candy store. As per our agreement, there will be no monetary compensation for this run. If you give me a moment, I'll add the samples to my inventory. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. And now, if you'll excuse me. Fine, but make this quick, alright? I want to get this merch logged in the inventory before it starts to thaw. Oh. Yes, I suppose that I do. Go ahead, tell me, I'm all ears. A stupid accident. Someone spilled soy calf on the control console and a bunch of test animals killed the researchers. That's frustrating. Suppose it's all water under the bridge. I have my merch after all. Just in case it doesn't let me choose all of them. How tragic. As far as I'm concerned, he can stay there for as long as he likes. The lease is paid through till 2061. I don't need the building for anything. It's generous of you. Money's already spent, Darcina. I can't get a refund. The clean-up costs on getting the building up and running would ruin me. So it's going to sit idle, one way or another. Could give it to the homeless people. Anyway, I already have what I need for the facility. If your little friend wants to play out his fantasies in there, he's more than welcome. I wash my hands of it. Had to fight Disney. I can't say that I'm surprised. They were instrumental in engineering my downfall back in Spain. The bastards brought all manner of drummed up charges against me. Tabloid press had a field day while you were making knockoffs, mate. Wouldn't worry about them. They may have their files on me, but they won't take any direct action against the cruise bar. I have info on several of their execs, so it would be quite embarrassing if it ever came to light. He just he glossed over completely of the fact that they shot at me.
I guess there's another day on the
Yeah, another day, another dollar. Let you get back to your inventory. So, we are going to see what he's got for sale. Oh, I got another thingy as well. Bliss. These types of implanted injectors have become popular with some of the local gangs. Yes, I can install it, though I'll need payment for the materials. Cyberware. Now, how do you... so it was on all.
Yeah.
But pressing triangle takes it off all, right. Oh yeah, I'm poor at the minute. I already had these. What? I don't have much money at the minute. I'm gonna have a look. Nah. Yeah, how odd. You'd have to use that as an action though, I'd bet.
Yeah.
Makes you stupid. Close range. It's quite cheap, but...
Like poison, having those lizards in Jurassic Park.
Mm. Did that skim straight over those because I didn't have enough money? Yes, it did. Boosted. Huh. Does that mean regen, or does that just mean you'll take less damage? Dodge, quickness, strength. Honestly, very few of these are particularly incredible. Oh! Oh, that costs 2 essence.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. Hmm. Yeah. Not today, thanks. Yes, me too. It is very late. Was not meant to get this late. Oh. Are you ready for Betty Simon, or are you in the middle of a mission? Okay.